Yeah.
She got style, grace. She got attitude. Feel it much in her touch. Show my gratitude. She got style, grace. She got attitude.
All right. Shimon Hotep, and welcome to another Smokin Conversations with Sakina Ra and my sister Gemini the Goddess. Yay! And in the corner, we got my thrice great nephew. Yay! Say hi, everybody.
Hi, baby.
Yeah, hey, everybody.
Hey, baby. He's so handsome. He's so handsome.
Yes. So he's going to keep us busy while we stay busy.
Well, we say busy. Right. Come on.
Yeah, Daddy.
Yeah, say we're going to be busy.
Yeah, Daddy.
Yeah, we're going to be busy. Say you Spider-Man today?
Yeah.
Yeah, you Spider-Man. Yeah, so he's 2.
Oh, 2.
Oh, he's such a cutie pie.
Say thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome, baby.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, so listen, it's been so much going on. I know we kind of briefly hit on corporate conversations about how was the holidays for everybody, right? In the season. Yeah, in the season's greetings, right?
Hi.
And so we hoping that everybody enjoyed their festivities so far, right? Because it's the winter solstice, right? And so that's the season like any other season, right? To enjoy the seasonal holidays, holy days, holidays, the festivities, because it's all about family and coming together and spending that time, right? You can call it what you want, but just call it. Right? And so that's where we get with that, right? And so season's greetings, right? Say ho, ho, ho. What else you say? No, you ain't gonna play with that. Okay. Yeah, that's Gemini. And that's me. And that's you. See you?
Baby.
Listen here. He got his own computer and everything. Right? Listen, don't push no buttons on her. You gonna push buttons on her? No, don't push no buttons on her.
Oh, don't push no buttons on us, baby.
Don't push no buttons on her. Sit right here with me. Okay, you finna go? Okay, go this way. Whoa, go this way then. Okay, well, listen here. Ashton want to do what he want to do. Look, he want to go the way he want to go. Ashton.
That's right.
Listen, TT can't. You can't do that. It's okay. No, you can't do that. You can't do that. She right there. Listen here. He trying to follow you,
Sakina. So listen. You're gonna have to do a show on your own hometown because everybody wants to know what is a Black person like you showing up in some of the white areas. You're the only Black person I know from the upper Midwest. And every time I tell my friend who is from North Dakota, she got roots in Wisconsin, Michigan,
Windy City, Chicago, right? It's always right.
They're always like, is she Black? I'm like, she is. I'm like, isn't she Black? No, but
Yes.
everybody got roots in Chicago, girl. Everybody ain't got no roots in North Dakota and Minnesota and Milwaukee and Wisconsin. I don't know not a single Black person but you from there. I ain't never even met a person from there.
Oh
So
my
you're gonna have
goodness.
to tell the story of your family and how y'all got up to how y'all got up to Milwaukee and the Dakotas.
Well,
That's
I will.
such an interesting
Because
story.
my daughters are the ones that got to the Dakotas, right? And just like you, when it comes to your Monty, you're gonna follow that yellow brick road, right? And so,
Just to even know another person got friends. How do you have friends in the Dakotas? That is bananas to me. But you know, like, I said, how do you have friends in the Dakotas? It's bananas to me, but it's
you
I'm
you
like,
know
I'm so
what? My godmother, now I don't even know if she's still living or not, but she lived in South Dakota. But I remember after my mom got sick or whatever, I'm not sure if because I haven't heard from them after that for a while. I don't know if it was just because we were older and lost in touch or whatever, but my sister-in-law ended up telling me that. Now I remember that when they moved there, right? But I don't remember like where. So yeah, that's kind of something. But far as friends, yeah, you know, you make them as you go. I'll be telling them.
girl.
You'll be driving so fast down the street. My friend might live on this street.
No other choice but to, you know, make friends and be like you are if you're from that neck of the woods. Because it's like, what in the world? I just don't know no other Black person. I just never met another Black person from that neck of the woods. Not ever, never. In all my 50 years on the earth, this is, you know, like you are a surprise. You are a first because you come from some place that, you know, a part that most of us are unfamiliar with.
Listen, it's but do you know it was worth tapping into to see what's really going on there. I've learned so much. It's so some of it is like it's historical, very much so. So, but some of it is so they went through a flood so bad that they built some dikes, right, to protect the state, right, and so I guess that what made me really get into some of the stuff with the other people on the other channel when we was talking about that kind of stuff with flooding and dikes and things of that nature. But yeah, they had something that really incredibly happened here, that they built these dikes. And mind you, the biggest water port that we have here is the Missouri River. So can you imagine what kind of flood that was to make that type of impact?
No,
You see what
I
I'm
can't
saying?
because we have the Missouri River and it's not large at all. So to see the river
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
flows
So
out
could you
your way, that's
imagine?
interesting. You ought to take some pictures.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. Could you imagine what that was? Because that's the biggest river here. It is the Missouri. And so, what impact was that made that flood? Because the Mississippi don't make it this far, although it goes to I think up to 4 hours away, somewhere in Minnesota, before we even, you know. But yeah, so I'm gonna look into that too because I'm kind of covering a few things right now. It was briefly on a conversation me and you had, but it was going back on to some of the previous videos we did, right? And so I'm scratching the surface with this. But one of the things that we wanted to start off with was talking about what's his name? It started with a, you know, I forget this name. The guy that shot the healthcare worker.
Luigi Magnon?
Yes, Luigi. Yes.
Luigi
Yes.
Magnon. Yeah, that's him.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah,
And
interesting.
this,
It's very interesting. The entire thing is so interesting.
come on, because of the healthcare. Now I've heard things, I don't know for sure, but I've heard that he dealt with healthcare and in some other sector, some other kind of way. And so there was a lot of backlash after he got shot, right? But I don't know if that had played a catalyst to all of this or not, but it was a few things
Well,
that connected.
he had surgery, right? And so yeah, and he's wealthy, he's well-to-do, but the point still was subpar Mangione, Mangione, oh, Mangione.
Oh, okay.
Mangione, Luigi Mangione.
Like
Yeah,
Chuck
okay. Now he came from a wealthy
Manzioni.
family, though, right? He came from a well-to-do.
Yes,
I don't know if they were wealthy, but they were definitely well-to-do. And
they
so
were
when
wealthy.
he got into that accident and he had that subpar health care, is where he really lost it, right? Because all it really takes for change is one person to get pissed.
Yeah.
And then it's over.
Yeah.
And
But
so
the guy
it
he
only took
shot was
for
involved in the
that one young man to get pissed. Yeah, and change, and he got a lot of things changed, and he's still not dead, so he's not yet a martyr. And I was surprised how many supporters he has. He has tons of supporters. I mean, they're out there with those picket signs, and the picket signs literally was reading, "Thank you. It's about time somebody done something with this healthcare."
Oh.
What, Sakina? What are you looking at?
So okay, I'm kind of lost now. Because they shot him and people saying yay.
Yeah, they are absolutely praising
He
him
hasn't
for
done anything
going
yet.
to the. Yeah, but no, he did, right? He was
Okay.
CEO, so which means he's more than likely padded his pockets, underpaid staff.
Okay, so that's the
He
rumors.
did a lot of things that were questionable. Yeah, and so he took matters into his own hand and said, "Hey, I'm gonna chop off the head of the snake, not just the body. No, I'm coming straight for the head." So lots of people are thankful that he did that because they said that the healthcare system needs reform.
Okay, so that was the rumor about the guy and the healthcare and whatever he, right? Because I really didn't have a follow up with whoever this guy was that got shot. I just knew the role he was about to play, right? You know how the web tell you stuff and you'll hear all kinds of stuff. Or you know he done sold his mama, and all the elephant man bones and carrying on, and
yeah, this one is not
right.
done as the kind of a hero for over 0.5% of the 50% of the nation. He's looking like a hero to a lot of folks, other than a criminal.
Well, they might be trying to give him. Well, we can't say that because they don't do that everywhere. But they really trying to give him more than just like life. Let's say that part.
Yeah, because they
really
see how many followers that he has too is pissing them off. Yeah, it's pissing them off that people would be so happy about the demise of another. But when it's a greedy oligarchy, when it's greedy people at the top, the wealthy top 1 to 5%, 3%. I won't even put 5% in, 3%.
Yeah.
They want what they want. And so right now, this particular oligarchy, they are money is running the world.
Ooh.
If you ain't got no money, you can't run this world. But if you got some money, come on over to the corporate of the United States, and
they already
see where you can fit in. We'll give you a job like the rest of we did our corporate billionaires. We'll just squeeze you in there.
And God we trust. Everybody else can.
You have $1 billion to enter. You ain't got $1 billion for keep. Girl, what you saying?
Everybody else cash.
All you need is $1 billion, y'all. Then y'all.
Yeah. Well, you can't count the zeros.
Rub shoulders with 45.
You gotta be careful with that too. Gotta be careful with that too. right? Because I'm
You
the
can run
focus
those
is
a billion, Sakina. You can run NASA, girl. Get your
you
money
can
up.
you can run the zillions, right? You need billions. Because people finding $1 billion worth of trouble
No,
that
these
they
people
can't get
got
out
billions.
of.
That's why, yeah. Well, you know what? It seems like our government though has done a what do you call it? They did a plot twist, right? But this is not the government of sense or common sense anymore. This is the oligarchy of money. So we have a new type of situation in town, and all you need to enter into this particular race is $1 billion. I don't
A
see what's so
boycott.
hard about it.
You need a bit of
Then
coins.
we can get you a job at the DOD, the DOJ.
Yes, they want to give you a bit of coins. Call it
$1 billion
Bitcoins.
can get you placed anywhere you want, over any agency you want. So,
Being
Sakina,
an
we put in,
agency, all right.
we
Being an
gonna get
agent.
our money up, girl, so we can go around the world too.
Gravel with some
Yeah, capital punishment. That's what James is saying.
listen,
Capital
that's
punishment is what
real.
they're trying to give Luigi.
Yeah, that's real. That's real because they're not trying to execute him, but they really um they want to do him some. We don't even do that kind of. I think the roughest prisoner that we have is what, like Rikers Island or something like that. Right? They want to listen here.
Yeah. They want to make an example out of him because he has followers, right? He has too many people that believe in his particular ideology, and so he's not just a killer, but he's a killer with a following. And we're in the age of technology, so imagine what's going to happen as these months turn to years, and he's supposed to be being punished, but with the age of technology and social media, I don't know. That's not going to happen. But again, you have people who really believe, and it's not far from the truth, right? That these wealthy people are just over the top. Subpar healthcare. You're not getting the quality healthcare that you pay for, even with his jobs.
What's ADX?
I don't know. He's going to ADX. What's ADX?
I don't know. That's what Brother Law said. Peace, Brother Law.
Brother
What's
Law, you have to tell us what ADX is. Yeah, and so with his social media and with all the followers that he has, they're making him a rock star with each and every day, because again, you have over 50% of shared belief system in his ideology. So he is not this is not the career criminal. This was a strategic planning criminal, right? He strategically planned to to pluck the root out of the healthcare system.
Yeah, but they don't know if he's working alone.
Because of that, he has the support of ordinary people.
But they almost wondering, was he alone? Was he not alone?
Oh no, he was alone. He strategically plotted.
Wait a minute. I was with that too.
And he had the smarts to do so. Yeah.
I was with that too, but then you got Crooks and Forbes. And both of them saying two different things. So they raising the umbrella and lifting the eye. Like just maybe. There was he acted alone. Let's say that part. Because everything we're saying is just accusations and based off of stories we know. So the act is that he acted alone, but he may not have been alone with this whole whatever. So just because everybody wasn't involved, they were involved, but they wasn't involved in the actions. Did that make sense? Like they might have talked about it, they might have planned it.
He was too
but
bright.
He acted alone. No, it was like
he didn't have none of that going on.
This is what they saying. Like he had
why he
his parents found letters and stuff and diaries and stuff, and so it was like there was conversations. Like nobody else was in the act. This is what I'm saying. He acted alone, but it was other things or something like and lure of maybe to what they're saying, but as far as what he did, he acted alone. All of it was him.
I talk to you and confide in you, does that mean that you're acting with me because I confide in you though?
Yeah, but if you confide in somebody, I guess they're trying to hold somebody to say that if somebody told you that this maybe you're supposed to have made a call. I don't know what it's trying to say. I'm not trying to allude more than what it was supposed to be. But I'm just trying to go out some of these innuendos in these windows. Right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, but Sakina, you have to understand when he wrote all that though, it was mostly during the time of his accident. And when he got that subpar care for his back and had to live in all that pain, that was the catalyst. That's when he decided, you know what? I'm so sick of these doctors, so sick of everything they're saying. They're taking my money, right? And he looks like he's cash paying customer, him and his family, cash paying customers. And he just got to the top where he saw what the game was, right? They probably wanted to do more and more surgeries instead of just treat the problem, right? They just, hey, surgery after surgery, pat in their pockets.
Okay, well then let's rock on that.
He was sick of that. Because again, all it takes to create change is one sick person.
Because that happened to the Menendez brothers, right? You remember the Menendez brothers? The two boys that killed their parents?
Okay, but
this is my question though. Let me throw this in here. No, let me throw this in here because when you say it like that, then you know that he sees therapists and whatnot. So they had a therapist that knew what they did, and because of his hypocritical oath, he didn't tell, and it almost landed him in some serious trouble too because he knew. He recorded some of the conversations and so. So I'm just saying where they try to hold other people, even though he acted alone, right? It was still that some of them actions other people knew about. Now I'm not saying, but this is what it sounds like, is what I'm saying. I'm not saying they connecting other people, but that maybe that's what it sounds like they're in lure of because he acted alone. But again, when the parents tried to make sure that they wasn't in it or whatever, and all these notes and all this stuff, because that was not them that he was in conference with or had these conversations.
Yeah, but normally notes come from the time that something is happening.
Listen, I ain't got nothing to do with how they trying to look at this.
So
that's how they looking at it.
Write the notes. The way you're saying it as if anybody else could be in the plot.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It's alluring to. I'm not gonna say that because it's an allegation that's made, but it's being allured that way. Yes. Yes. Exactly. Especially when you're talking about trying to get him capital punishment. They throwing all that in. They ain't trying to hold nothing back.
I don't.
They ain't hold nothing back. They're trying to keep it all together and what have you. And if I don't know if they want to add people to it, I can't say. I'm just telling you what has been said and who's been saying it. I didn't say it. They said it. All right. So, yeah. That's why I said alluding and alluring and the accusations, because I wasn't there. I don't know. And this is how that goes out. Yes. Amani blackmail. Yeah, so this is what it comes down to, y'all. So again, I guess when they really want to, somebody got to get the blame. Everybody got to get the blame.
Okay, so now that you have introduced that, though, yeah, but no. You don't get away just that easily, because now that you have convoluted the conversation, now we try to have a conversation, and here you go with conspiracy theory. What if it was? I
didn't conspiracize nothing. I'm saying that they, according to,
I'm not. You're gonna have to clarify all of that. You're gonna have to clarify. All
you gotta do is go to Forbes and Crooks and watch some of these things that they got out here, and that'll clarify it. I didn't say it. Forbes and Crooks are saying it, right? And I'm not even sure if Law and Crime has something about it, but yes, they all were trying to say and trying to build this thing to make it like this. Not me. I'm telling you what they are saying. This is why they're gonna make him be this what we call it, a goat or a lamb or a sacrificial, whatever. Yes, because this is not something I'm saying. This is what they saying. I didn't know this man was that deep in the healthcare like that. This is what I said they were alluring to. But again, I guess he was because of whatever happened to that other guy. I'm just telling you what they were saying. I can't really go off everything the internet say because it convolutes stuff. Again, but this is what Forbes said. This is what Crook said. I'm not even sure if I heard anything from Law and Crime. It could have came from them too, right? But I have them, right? And they're there. They're there for anybody to go and see. This is why they're making such a big thing. I'm not saying that it ain't not a big thing, but I'm saying this is why. Mm-hmm. She'll be back in a minute. Her thing dropped down for a minute, y'all. So give her a second. Right, because peace, brother Law. Can you hear me? Brother Law, can you hear? We definitely can't hear you. You might have to unmute your mic. All right, we're going to wait on Brother Law and Gemini to come back up. Welcome to the chat, everybody in the chat room, and we thank you so much for showing up and joining us tonight. Yes, we're going to start off a deep conversation pretty much about this right now with the, how you say his name? Let me see, because Luigi. Yes, thank you so much. Luigi. Right, this is from the game, Luigi and Mario. I keep forgetting that. Yes, but this is going to be pretty, the whole thing is going to be interesting, period. Right, I couldn't hear Brother Lai. He's on the panel. If you can hear him, can you hear him?
Oh, yep, I see him.
Okay.
Hey, Brother Lai. Good evening.
Good evening. Yes. Peace and blessings, both of you, Queen.
Yes. How are you?
Doing good. I'm actually doing good.
Great,
trying to stay in and stay dry because it's really nasty out here in New York. So.
Oh, y'all got a blizzard again?
No, it's not a blizzard. It's just more so a mix of rain and snow.
Okay. Okay, because when y'all get it, I get nervous.
Yeah. But I think.
Yeah. So wait, what were you talking about when you said that he's going to upstate max?
No, ADX is the most secure federal penitentiary that we have here in the United States. It's a supermax. It's a feds. It's not state. It's federal.
Oh.
So all the so for all the serial killers and terrorists and over the top gang leaders and drug lords, they'll put them in there.
Ew.
And it's so crazy because they almost have to put him in a facility like that, right? Because he has, again, all of these followers.
But if we're going to be, I dig what you're saying, Gemini. But if you genuinely want to just be transparent across the board, if it was any other race other than what he was and where he came from, this trial wouldn't be going on as long as it is right now.
Well, of course not. We always factor those things in.
That being
X factor, you can't make those things leave, right? Those, yeah. Well, so that's a factor that automatically comes with the with the case, right? He's a white guy. He's Italian. But the other interesting thing about it is that how much following he had, because I was almost for sure that people would be so against what he did, only come to find out, no, people were thrilled about what he did. Say that again.
I concur with everything you were saying. I concur with everything you were saying. And what
Yeah.
I'm saying to you is basically this. We're talking about a gentleman that killed someone in the middle of the day. This wasn't at night. This wasn't during no other time. He actually in the heart of Midtown in New York City,
Look at
Manhattan,
the,
New
I'm
York.
about to say, look at what he did. Yeah. Yeah.
With that being the case, he ran down on him, strategically knew when he was coming out of the facility. With that being the case, he knew every step that that man
He
was
knew.
taking.
He did. Yeah,
He
he did.
walked down on him and discharged not a regular gun, a 3D gun. With that just being not just being a 3D gun, it was a 3D gun with a suppressor. He thereafter that escaped on a bike, got into a train, and ended up where? Did they say it was Pittsburgh or somewhere further than
Yeah,
that?
somewhere like that. Yeah.
In the McDonald's having a cheeseburger or something?
Having a cheeseburger. Yeah. He was eating lunch. He was using the bathroom when he eat lunch. Yeah. Yeah. So all I hear you saying though, when you say that though, is conspiracy, right? Not even conspiracy in the fact that it's not true, but plot twist. Somebody set this up, right?
My
Somebody
thing
had
is
to,
this.
because it was too strategic.
We're talking about Midtown. Every other store has cameras. When you go into a train station, there's cameras everywhere. He got on a train or wherever he got from New York to Pittsburgh. No camera picked it up. And it just so happened allegedly a McDonald's worker saw him and called the police and said that he fit the description.
Right, right. That's what they said.
I mean, it's basically, to me, I look at it as it being a smoking mirror in a sense. You get people like ourselves that have
A
cordial
smoke and
conversations.
mirror as in a distraction, or a smoke and mirror as in something that was set up, an alternative type of setup?
No, a smoking mirror in regards to being a distraction. There's other hands that are being played that is going to be more detrimental to the average American citizen than watching something from a so-called CEO or CFO who was killed. I'm
But
not
why not?
downplaying.
Why
I'm
haven't
not
you factored
downplaying
into?
it. I'm
Hold
not
on.
downplaying any human
Yeah,
being
because I'm
losing their lives.
like, yeah,
I'm
because
not
that is to
downplaying it.
minimize it. Because when you're talking about United Healthcare, that the healthcare system as a whole, it has been a thorn in people's backsides forever, right? And we're talking about not just the working class, but the everyday class too. So from Medicare, Medicaid to paid healthcare insurance, we know that these people are crooks, and we know that these people have been padding their pockets with false Medicare things. They won't cure you, but they will sit here and cure your pinky toe for about 200,000 and run that bill up. So we know that the healthcare system is broken. So when we factor in what this person did, it absolutely makes sense and it fits. It's a piece of the puzzle that fits.
But on the flip side, do we glorify what he did?
Yeah, there's lots of things we glorify and don't glorify, right? We don't pick and choose who is right or wrong, because to be quite honest, I'm just kind of biased. I mean, I'm just hanging right there in the middle. I was just shocked because people had a real bone to pick with our healthcare system, and they are showing it through the actions of supporting this guy, Luigi.
I just believe for myself, it was way too strategic. And for him to get away the way he got away, it took some really technical planning, thinking for it to be executed the way it was.
Agreed. It was skillfully done. We can't argue with that. It was skillfully and strategically planned. You bet your bottom dollar it was right from the gun, because you want to you think too, even though this guy is well to do, he still couldn't afford a 3D gun. So where would he have gotten that from? Right? This 3D gun is going to cost you a pretty penny, and especially with a suppressor on it, it's going to cost you a pretty penny. I know the guy had some money, but I don't know if he had that money.
I mean, if
So
you have the,
might be
if
right
you,
when she said there was somebody else there, but not nobody else as in regular. Somebody else who had something to gain by the demise of this man. Plus, they already knew the media was going to take it and run with it. They knew that killing this guy would bring supporters. So somebody definitely this benefited them, him or her.
my question that I
Even
really did, my
sorry, go
question
ahead.
that I, my question that I have is this: I really didn't dig in it too much, but I wanted to know, with that being the case, when he was brought in, did they check him for GSR? Because anytime somebody is murdered, that's the first thing they check for is GSR, which is the gunpowder residue from somebody being shot. Furthermore than that, if he had the same clothes on, the GSR gunpowder splatter would be all over his clothes.
Yeah, but
Now, do
when they
3D
caught him so
guns have the
late
same residue?
yeah, the residue probably would be on the clothes if he still had them. But as far as his physical, no, because they found him a week later or so, 2 weeks later or something like that. He wouldn't have no
about
residue on him.
just about.
Yeah, he
Oh,
wouldn't
oh,
have. But the
Okay,
clothing,
but wait a minute,
pretty much.
Sakina. But my question is, do they have residue? Is the residue from a 3D gun the same as it is the residue from a regular gun?
no.
I've heard about. I'm sorry, brother.
Exactly
I've heard about these 3D guns, but this I don't know either. I've heard that some people, based on intelligence, I'm assuming, but they making these 3D guns too.
Yes, they are.
Okay, so
That's why. That's why I emphasize. That's why I
Right.
emphasize on if you have the actual machinery, the
Exactly.
fibering,
Yeah.
the plastic, the fibering that would be needed. If you have the machinery, wouldn't really cost that much at all. The difference between a 3D gun and an actual regular piece of hardware would basically being tracked with a serial number, meaning any gun that's sold in the United States of America has a tracking number on it, or not a tracking number, excuse me, a serial number. With that being the case, the gun can be traced back to where it was purchased, where it was sold, and who had it. With a 3D gun, there is no tracing. There is no figuring out where it came from. So in actuality, whatever gun that you fire, whether it be a 9, a 45, a 357, a 38 special, depending on the caliber of the gun, when the hammer hits the primer, ejects the slug out of the shell casing itself, it goes through a barrel, which in fact leaves markings on the barrel so they can dictate what type of gun the gun was fired on. A ghost gun doesn't have that, from my recollection, what I know. It doesn't have that. Furthermore than that, once you're loading a gun, they never specified if it was an automatic or if it was a revolver. If I'm not mistaken, I think it was an automatic, which means if it was an automatic, when the gun was loaded, he actually had to take the bullets from whatever box or bag, or wherever he had it in, and load it into the clip. The fingerprints will be on the shell casing. If the fingerprints are not on the shell casing itself, that's another thing.
Mm-hmm.
These are all variables that kick in when forensics get to a scene. Because if it's the automatic that was fired, the shell casing is going to kick out of the gun and it's going to fall. Did they specify how many times he was shot? Was it center mass? Was it center mass? Did he get hit in the head? Was it a headshot? These are all variables that play a big part.
It was a headshot. He got shot in the back of the head.
He got shot in the back. So a lot of that made sense too, because again, they had to know what time he got off, his natural routine, because the way he walked, that specific day that he was walking, where he, all of this was right. So I'm not even sure, because like I said, I watched it was 2 shows I watched, but yeah, I don't know what they were trying to allude to, but yeah, it's getting more deep now that you add more pieces.
The one thing
Yeah,
I, the one thing I hated about the whole situation, and then I'm gonna just leave it at that, was when it first actually happened. You had news reporters here in New York City stating that it was a light skinned male,
Mm.
meaning Latino or African American, light skinned male. We all
he
could
didn't
see the
plead
difference
with that.
between a
Yeah, he didn't plead
Caucasian
guilty to
male
that though.
and light skinned male. We can still all see the difference between a
Nah, that brother
Caucasian.
had some nappy ass hair, brother. I'm so sorry. That fool hair was nappy, looking like Brillo pad. I'm sorry, you didn't know. You did not know he was straight up white. I didn't even know he was Italian, to be quite honest. But I figured he was something other than just flat out white once I saw his hair. I'm like, dang, dude got some nappy hair for an Italian dude, but they have coarse hair. So to their first inkling, he would definitely think he was a Latino man or a lighter skinned man because his hair was coarse as all get out,
But let's be
and he had
just,
the
if you
nerve to have a
really,
small afro.
yes, but if you want to
Lord,
just be
man.
honest and transparent, as we all know, or I don't know, maybe people don't know, but if you go to Italy, there are black people that existed in Italy, more so in Sicily.
Yeah, and they have a coarse texture of hair, but
Yes,
that still
indeed.
has nothing to do with this person being when they at first glance seeing him look like one thing and then he turns out to be another. That happens all the time. So that is being honest and transparent. That we didn't know the nationality of this person just looking straight at him. You had to literally know his name and where and find out where he was from and actually to make sure his identity was correct because he could have
I
been
don't
Indeed.
really
think
passed for another nationality real easily.
I don't think the
you
nationality
know
marker would have moved him to being white. It would have moved him to being a European or something to that, but it wouldn't have made him be white, right?
okay, that's extra
No, that's
technical.
just that's where Brother
Okay,
Lot going
if you
with
want
it,
to
but
sit and
that's
say
just the truth of
European,
it. Because when you say white, um, just
that
being
means we
honest,
having
white
a
folks
whole nother
argue
type of
about white
conversation.
folks,
I
so we can't
understand.
just say
Y'all
white
ain't
and
gonna
just
kill
throw
me
him
today
in
with
there
all of that and all
being
of that.
light skinned. No, there that kind of hit a marker on anything brown skinned other than maybe African Americans. That's what that meant. Anything
Exactly my
other
point. And that's what I
exactly
had an issue
because
a problem with.
that's not hitting white because white really only covers Greeks.
Well,
I
no,
mean
your point,
Germans
brother Law,
and
was
right because they will
that
go there.
how can we must have mistaken him for one thing when he was another, and then Sakina is sitting here
But
saying,
they don't know.
no, white has too many anomalies. We'll call him European, and
No,
call
y'all
him.
No,
saying
that's not
European.
the
They're not calling them
Gemini.
European.
That's not the premise that
That's
she's drawing,
American
sis. Don't do
terminology.
that, sis.
I'm just
That's American terminology with European being white. That's not the truth.
category. I don't see why we can't. We didn't call the man. Y'all done thought he was all kind of stuff other than what he was. So why I can't throw him in
I
the
don't know what he
category too?
was.
Y'all done called the man
I don't
either.
know what he was, but I'm just going with everything that was kind of,
He's
because
Italian.
again, they're saying, okay, Italian, Sicilian, Cuban, Puerto Rican, and remember, all of these all almost have the same phenotype,
Cuban and Puerto Rican,
like
if that's the
us,
case,
damn near.
yeah,
Huh?
never mind.
So again, I when they was looking for a light skinned brother, they was looking for a light skinned man, but they know what skin he wasn't a white skinned, but they knew that he may not have been African either. So that's the marker that because we don't know what that other one
African
is.
when they actually pimped up on him, though. But from a distance, because his hair was so coarse and kinky, from a distance, he could have been anybody other than the nationality he was. But when you found out what he was, it made perfectly good sense too, because a lot of Sicilians, Italians have coarse hair. So he had all that coarse hair. You couldn't tell
Gemini,
Puerto Ricans
who
got
he
nappy
was from
hair.
a distance.
on the flip side, you also have to take into consideration now with the days and times that we live in, and with technology, there are masks out there with somewhat looks like human hair, mustaches, and things of that nature, and the mask can look like a Caucasian male, or you can put a mask on that looks like you're completely black with the hands that look the same exact way. I can go around the corner as a full blown Caucasian man with a mask on, hat on, gloves on, blow somebody's head off, go around the corner, take it off, throw it in the trash, and be a perfectly black man again. This is the technology that's out there now where you can wear masks and things of that nature. So really, technically, if you want to be honest, we don't know who. We couldn't have pinpointed it. My concern is this. How is it that you're able to do what you did at that moment in time and get as far as you got away? We're talking about a week.
It's crystal clear. When you have other people with the resources that you need, again, somebody had the benefit. Somebody gained behind this man's death. It is crystal clear. You can check that off your list automatically. Somebody definitely benefited. There was a gain, but so did the public. So you have to only understand this man may have been much deeper into things we'll never know because he's dead now. But apparently somebody else wanted him dead too. They just have to find a motivated person. And because he dealt with them and his healthcare was subpar, he was the perfect person.
That's a shame. I got some juice. The only reason why they caught him, because he was flirting with the hotel lady at the hotel, and that's how they caught his picture on that film. At the hotel he was staying with, flirting with her.
Oh, otherwise they wouldn't have known who he was.
Otherwise they would have never knew who he was. Because my niece said she thought that he was a different race too. She said she thought he had on a mask too until until they caught him. She thought it was a mask too. That's what I was just talking to her about. I was like, oh, I wish you could come live. She tired. But yeah. So yeah, all of that.
Because I think that was the first thing the news had said was, how did this guy get here at this exact time? That's what the news was saying in the beginning, right? Like this timing was a problem, you know. And then the second thing that came out about him was, you know, him coming from a well-to-do background, and him himself is also college graduated, you know, and he was a smart guy. He was not by far stupid, but then he got into an accident, had a back injury, and had been dealing with pain for a very long time. And that pain will also too cause you to do strange things. You know, so not only is your healthcare subpar, and then the CEO, we saw how young he was, right? He was a young guy, you know. He wasn't old at all. So, you know, that the changes probably pissed him off. I mean, there's lots of factors that set this guy off, sure. So I don't dispute that. You know, he was angry. Somebody played him. He probably was willing to do it. He probably got some money when he on his books forever and ever and ever. You know, he probably would never have to worry about commissary. So one good news.
He had money on his books forever and ever before he went. He was like, damn this.
Into perpetuity.
Yes, you know, your back hurt. Not hurt like whatever hurt when it hurt though. You be like, listen, my back hurts so bad I'm going to shoot a nigga today. Right?
Can you say forever, boys and girls?
Listen here.
This is how you get money on your books forever.
Listen. Yeah, so
yeah, it's real unfortunate. And again, when the actual, because I'm going to follow some of that trial, because again, I'm interested in the protesters. I just think they're so interesting. I mean, they had all kinds of stuff to say, right? They knew the tea. Like, if there's more tea to be told, the protesters know about it. And I was like, wait, what? So you probably only had to live where he lived, did business where he did business, went to the type of places he went to in order to even understand his plight. Probably didn't know, we can't fathom it looking on the outside, looking in, but if you were right there with him, the way those protesters had all that stuff ready too, somebody strategically prepped them too.
They act like they was feeling his pain.
They were, because they were all from, I'm telling you, from that United Healthcare Group. Look how big that place was. So people were like, yeah, it's about time. They're talking about reform now, as a matter of fact. Right? Yes. Reform is on the table. Since that has happened, they are talking more about healthcare reform than they have talked in the last 4 years.
Good. That's good. So that's really, really good. Because I'm gonna cover. I mean,
it's a catch-22 on this one. Damned if you do and damned if you don't. Because again, got lots of people who agree with this guy and lots of people who don't agree with what had happened at all. And I know right now the way the world is being ran by people with money, he's just one more person with some money that's not here to fulfill his part.
Yeah. Yeah. I still believe that in the end, though, that bottom line, whatever they trying to reach for that goal, killing him didn't do no justice, because they still gonna try to meet that same marker. It don't matter who do it, it still got to be done. And by now you done knocked yourself out the way, and now he knocked out the way. Now, mind you, they were still probably gonna make amendments to this healthcare thing once, because it was part of Obama's plan, and didn't nobody like it no way. So they say. So they probably were gonna do something to it and make some curves to it, or what amendments to it, or what have you. Anyway, but not everybody was going to agree. There's no way you're going to be able to satisfy all the people. You can maybe.
Well, maybe we get what we want out the deal too, though. When they renegotiate, though, right? Maybe he may get some perks.
Right, but the point is that he's not going to be able to utilize or celebrate in none of the so-called victory, because the man ain't here. The thing's still gonna be done, and he ain't gonna be here to benefit one way or another. So again, right, because the changes were gonna be made regardless to what he did. Now, whether they're yay or nay, they still might come out even more piss poor than they were before if they make any changes at all. The point is that he's not going to be part of it.
That's only partially true. That's only partially true.
But either way, he's not going to be part of it, and that's all true.
They got better health care than me and you.
He's not going to celebrate it.
I got a brother right now getting his teeth done, and it cost me $1,200 for a deductible for the same exact health care that he's in there getting for free.
Look, I did that with Obamacare. What are we talking about? I've already did my share for that.
You saying he's not going to be able to benefit, and I'm saying he is. Guarantee you his back get fixed up in there. Guarantee you that problem that he had.
The state is only going to do what the state going to do, but his parents got money too. So again, that's still not going to alleviate whatever healthcare issues that wherever the bottom line was for healthcare, regardless to who's going to fit the bill. That's still going to get done.
Go back to the drawing board. Because they don't.
No, they're not. Just because somebody died, they're not going to erase that plan just because somebody died.
Somebody died makes all the difference in the world. That's the difference between a grandfather and that's the difference between a grandfather and a son. Kill off the father, and so the grandfather leaves all the inheritance to the.
Okay, but that man don't own health care. He was sitting in place of a program that didn't even start yet, and he got killed before he was taken to action. So the plan that he was to do ain't been done yet.
For you to get yours is to remove one person sometimes. One person. Removing that one person makes all the difference in the world.
No, it don't.
Yes,
It don't,
it
especially when he's
does.
not in
Name
office.
several
He's
instances
not
where
in office
removing
yet.
one person makes a
He's not in
difference.
office. You didn't remove nothing. You
We can
moved the
even we
man that
can
was
even
on the
do that
street.
with 45 right now. If we removed 45 right now from the equation, he's only one person. Look at a difference that would make
It's
all across the
45 in a
board
government
just with him
position.
going.
Listen, if you get shot before you get in your chair, then you ain't been in your chair. You were just aligned to be there. But if you didn't make it to be king, you're not king until that day happens. So
But
that
that's
man
not
was
what we were
not
talking
in
about. We were
control of
talking
anything.
about
That's what I'm
removing
saying. So anything that he was targeted to
one
do once
person
he got in that chair
from
has not been
their
done.
place that will make a difference. And it does make a difference.
I don't
Remove one
think.
person makes all the difference in the world.
Okay, well, I don't think that one man dying over that health care is going to change that whole health care bill. That I don't believe.
But that's okay, because that's why people are divided. I happen to think that removing the right one person always makes a difference, and it did. Removing him brought them back to the table so they can actually take a look at healthcare. No one was paying attention, and even did no one care. Now people care. People absolutely care. They do not want a repeat
No,
whatsoever.
they didn't have them
They don't want a
healthcare
repeat.
notices and whatnot in there, and they were shutting them down. But regardless to that, what I'm saying is that whatever plans he had to enforce has not happened or taken place because he never sat in the chair yet. So he didn't even get a
I
chance to do
understand that
anything.
removing him, no matter where his placement is, will make all the world of a difference to us. It will make a difference to everybody involved. If there was another person, if he was removed and he was replaced by another, true, you'd have to sit here and almost practically pay the same piper, but it makes all the difference in the world on who it is. So by removing that one person, you relieve yourself of all type of suffering, stress, and everything else. Let's say if somebody was attacking you, it was only that one person. By the removal of that one person, you lessen the whole experience.
Yeah, but we talking about
So
health
there's
care
lots of
for everybody, not just this one person.
times.
This one person had a role. His role ain't having nothing to do with the whole health care itself. I don't know what he did per se, but I don't think
Yes,
that
and
was
I
his
guarantee
health
you the
care
next person
plan.
that comes
Period.
after him is going to think twice. Guarantee you.
So
They're
they
going to
don't
think
get shot.
twice.
So they don't get
Yeah,
shot.
pretty much.
Okay, for
Yeah.
her manner.
I guarantee you that sent the cold chill down their spine.
Listen, we gonna see because people gonna start hollering and screaming about their health care and their health care bills and A, B, and D and
People
C
gonna
and
always scream and holler
yeah,
about
that's
healthcare
what I'm
because the
saying.
system
So
is so
that should
broken.
never change nothing.
Yeah.
None of that changed, and that marker is still gonna be. I don't know what it is, no way before they shot him, and so yeah, because it's a
I
lot of
mean, it
stuff going
definitely
on.
changed because at this point we don't even know if this was something that was planned for other CEOs who own healthcare, right? We don't know that. We don't know that if this one person would have gotten it together, they wouldn't have shot him. But maybe they shot him under something else that he wasn't supposed to do. He did it anyway. Maybe there is plans for other CEOs. We just don't know at this point. But removing him definitely put those people at ease where he was living at. Made all the difference in the world to them.
I hope it worked for him, because if they get another mother freaker that's even worse, they're gonna be mad. They're gonna wish they kept him. Why did you
Agreed.
shoot him, Luigi?
Agreed. But he
Right.
was young. He all he was gonna do was pad his pockets. He was a young guy. He wasn't really
Mm.
for healthcare reform. No, he was a young tenderoni, and he's looking to get paid like all the rest of them.
And that's the sad part.
Because this is the year of the corporate CEO come up, right? All of these
Well,
corporate CEOs are running the world right now, taking over, seeing what they can absolutely get, how they can pad their pockets some more at the expense of taxpayers and people.
Well,
It's
let's
how they
hope not.
roll. It's absolutely how they roll.
Let's hope they roll for the right way and the right reasons, because we know
Well, that's
without
a
no
never. When have you ever known that to be?
right.
With
But you
this
do got some
Neverland we're
people
talking
like you
about?
spoke on it today. You got companies out here that's built on the very thing you talked about today, which is integrity. There's a lot of companies that stand on it. It's so much so that they made a TV show called
I keep
Undercover
asking
Boss.
you to name me one. You still ain't gave me one.
I just named you one. So if you watch Undercover Boss, you will catch a bunch of them
I know
popping
it's
people
TV,
off.
Sakina.
Right? No, this is not just TV, it's
Undercover
life.
Boss was a TV show.
People are you have a lot of people that feel
Oh, no,
like they're not getting
Undercover Boss
paid
is
what
in
they earn or
real
what
life.
have you, but then you have a lot of jobs or a lot of places that the boss don't believe, and I believe that with Undercover Boss for a prime reason. It's a lot of jobs that don't really know that people are, or people that they will have working for them, treat people this way. And when they find out what's really going on, why is productivity this way, why is this way, why is it, when they honestly, because when you work in an office, you don't never 9 times out of 10 leave your office, but when you get to leave your office and go to the floor and really see what's going on down there or what's going on, you get to catch. That's why they have those shows where the police sending people in there to do those private police shows, because you get to see who actually, if these officers or these other co-workers or whatnot, are they really treating the subordinates right?
About anything that come off TV.
No, this ain't just TV. This is life. Listen, you can't just live in your office and think that everything, just because you said it, that is going that way. That's why they have people do rounds. They have them to clock off and do this and that and another, because it's one thing to say, yeah, they said, but that's why you always have eyes on eyes on eyes on eyes, and that's why. Right, we using all these other words, and I don't want to get into that, but again, you do have people that watch over your team, but you also have somebody else that works with you to watch over your team. Right, teamwork make the dream work. So these eyes, and then you have somebody when you need to go and talk to that's over to watch over, because you're part of another team of supervisors, managers, or whatever y'all call yourselves, because this is this way this functions. So yeah, you're always gonna have somebody watching over somebody. But that's why people think they can get away with certain stuff at certain jobs. No, because when you fall under one guideline, your law or whatever, that's it. And once you violate that, it's over. And there's no right way around it. No matter who come in, and if somebody can't do the job, they'll get rid of them and put you in it. Why? Because you are going to do the job. You're going to go by the guidelines. You're going to do this and that. And they don't. Those ethics, that's their integrity stands behind that. That's not what I'm not going to have you here messing up my job, my integrity, and everything I built based on you and what have you. And you're not going to tear it down in 5-6 days by yourself. No. It took me years to do this. And people do that. You wouldn't leave your company to nobody like that and just go head on and then come back and say, Gemini, I love coming to your shop, but on such days, you'll be like, wait a minute. I built this, and no. You're not going to let nobody do that. Yeah, I don't care if you own 9 shops. Once in a while, you may pop up to all of them once a month. Once they call them field supervisors, field managers, you're going to do whatever you got to do because your integrity is based on that. So, yeah, that was a good thing you brought in today. I told you it was going to fit in. I told you, look.
That's our word for today. Our word for today is integrity, right? Our word for today is integrity.
It's that serious.
That's true.
It's very serious. That's like true. That, yeah.
So
with that, I don't know how long we've been here, an hour and 3 minutes. So I only got a couple of slides, y'all. I kind of want to get into. I'm glad we brought that in with this young man. I can't remember his name again. I'm sorry, y'all. It don't matter. But the reason why I went into that is because for every action, there's a reaction. Right. That's where we're going. So again, I went back and checked out some of the slides and some of the shows and everything that was going on. And the reason I did that was because it's a lot of stuff going on right now. right?
There's a lot of stuff going on.
There's a lot of earthquakes going on. We having a whole lot of fires off and on. We got volcanoes popping off like popcorn. Um, and you know, we did some things on global warming and climate, this climate control and whatnot. But with this it kind of was some with the drones. I'm gonna say that a little bit, only with the drones a little bit, because that game Minecraft or something to that effect put me in the mind of that. So when I saw that, so but moving forward, it's more or less about all this war and somewhere along the line you would believe. And so that's where I'm doing the research, and we're gonna do this together. But um all this bombing from a bomb systematically can cause a frequency wave that can possibly help to initiate some of these other actions that we see going on right now. Right.
Such
So
as what? Such as what, though, Sakina? Give us an example of what you're talking about. So when you're saying all of these frequencies,
volcano eruptions, right?
okay,
Right. You can systematically the wave from bombs constantly over the years is constantly, you know, vibrating and rattling the ground, and especially where it could be at the location. We're talking about the equator or close to hemispheres and things of this nature. All of this has an impact, and then you may have a domino effect behind it, right? So if volcanoes are popping off, then you know volcanoes erupt just like earthquakes. So that's a different earthquake. The difference is that you don't have that eruption of lava. However, that magnitude of that volcano is just like water, but it's on the ground. So just because it's subsided where you are, it's still moving. So it might have been 7 in Missouri, but by the time it get to me, it might be a 3 or a 2. And I'm way in North Dakota.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So that still causes. So any volcano along the way could pop off. Right? Any landslides, anything to that going off, it can make it weaken. And so when mud and rain happens, then you result in the mudslides and the other things of these catastrophic weather conditions, and one thing can lead to another. And so it's just saying we need to focus on staying away from the war, just having another look at some of this other stuff that's really going around, and like really just make better choices, I think, and start trying to look at some of this stuff real serious. Because I know I didn't do Garbage Island because I don't want to gross you out, but I do want to do Garbage Island. I'm gonna make sure you're not gonna be there though, because Garbage Island is real. But it's part of.
Yeah, because I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear no stories about
I know you
that.
don't. That's why I said I'm away so I can ask you.
It's not my jam. It's like no.
Yeah, I don't want you to be there because I don't want to gross you out with Garbage Island.
Thank you. Because that's all that's gonna do is stress me out. It really is. I don't want to hear that.
I'm not gonna do that. Because I see like, those videos. They push back.
That's gonna gross me out and all the rest. So I can't be there for that. Exactly. I don't want to hear that.
No, I don't want to gross you out or nothing like that. I just want to be more consciously aware of like this is why.
Because you don't have another type of consciousness, Sakina, only there.
Well, you know, I'm air, water, sea.
Why is your consciousness there instead of elsewhere?
But I'm
like
still
you can't leave your conscious alone.
Well, I'm still trying to stay under this climate, and back to refurbishing our globe. You know, I'm still on that kind of sorta. right? And then when you just think about this, and everybody threatening wars, and like we can't afford another war. They're
We
tearing up
don't
our.
know what we can afford. We don't make
I
the
don't care
money.
if we
How do
could
we
or
know what
not.
we can afford?
I don't know if we can. I'm not saying financially. I am saying that how much
You're
do you
saying
think our
just
world? You don't need
people
to put that
wise,
just
yeah.
because it's our world, just because it's been here, don't mean you know what I'm saying. For every action, there's a reaction. I mean, what's it gonna take for somebody to? No, I think some of this stuff if we can make the changes, we making changes. Let's keep making the changes. Let's be more consciously aware. This is gonna be 2025, right? It can't be just about if you're gonna make a change, a life change. You see what I'm saying?
Okay, so is that part of your resolution? What are we talking about?
Yeah, it's part of a
Is this
revolution. And
part of
again, this is
Sakina's
climate
resolution, or
control.
is this something
This is
else?
part of climate control. But listen, my personal resolution, honestly, I've been weighing the fence trying to figure it out. Honestly, because I don't know what my personal resolution would be. Like, I've been trying to stop saying so many curse words. I think that's a big resolution for me. Right? I can do it when I'm at work or something, but when I'm not at work, you don't pay me. I listen here. You get what's free. You don't get a paid conversation. Paid conversation might not come around. But either way, I don't want to. It's just a whole bunch of stuff that I really want to change up for myself. Right?
Such as
Not
what?
for my
Tell us. You can't be
image. Not
hollering.
for that.
I just want to change the world, y'all. I just want to change all
No,
of
but
it.
at
What do
the
you have a
same
specific
time,
piece of it
I
you want to
still like
change, or
consciously
what is going
aware.
on? What we talking about?
I still like
What we
that
talking
part about being consciously aware. I don't know if it's because I did work for the Citizens for the Better Environment and because I was always in the loo, and every once in a while when I see something, it's like, you know what I'm saying? And so I had to go back over there again. It's just, yeah. So, yeah, because I don't want to that remind me, I was going to say sewage oil, but I don't want to go there because I told you, right. So, again, this is all I'm saying. It's just all this kind of stuff. They say if we knew better, we do better. If you know better, then you shown better, right? And so all of our actions, our characteristics, all of this 2025, I'm going to be old and they're going to be young. And they got to carry the torch. But if you're burning out everything, trying to figure out the light bulbs, and they trying to make no new light bulbs, and they supposed to last forever and last longer than they do, and y'all just tearing them up, and ain't nobody going to invent no new ones. And eventually y'all going back to the dark.
That's the key. Now, listen, they don't know what light bulbs are broken. None of that.
That's all I'm saying. Then you'll be back in the dark.
No, like,
then you'll be back in the dark.
Build on. I mean, give us something more. Please.
You'll be back in the dark. Listen, because people always want to. We're not going to argue about it. All I'm saying is this is me. I just want to be globally, consciously aware, and this is what my topic is. Because again, it's 2 or 3 countries threatening war, and then we already got 2 or 3 at war right now. And then I got some links that I'm gonna drop down to y'all too, for y'all just to be checking it out, just to check it out. And yeah, I've been called Carmen San Diego by 2 people now. I'm not gonna mention both of their names, but they know who they are.
Right. You are Carmen San Diego, the black version.
Right.
Carmen San Diego, y'all.
Listen, they said roaches last longer. Listen here, we had a conversation yesterday about roaches in the ocean.
Oh my God. So I'm getting off this conversation if y'all gonna keep this on roaches.
No, I'm just saying, speaking of, when we was having these conversations,
shrimp being roaches. I don't want to hear about cockroaches being roaches. I don't want to hear about crab legs being roaches. None of the sea urchin, all of that. Stop.
Submergences.
Listen, some crab she had yesterday in her hand was a damn roach. That motherfucker was about 22 inches wide. That's all I'm saying. Okay, it was like this big. Her head, the crab body.
She was tearing it up.
So I don't know. So maybe that's somebody's feast. and then that's somebody's roach. You want to stomp on it and try to kill it. I don't know. What you gonna do?
No, they can eat that. Them crabs cost hundreds and thousands of dollars. Girl, they got blue ones and they come in colors, hunting. I don't eat sea roaches, but I'm saying them sea roaches is expensive.
Listen, sea roaches taste good with some scampi garlic on it. That's all I'm saying.
Let me find this ashtray.
Call them anything you want to sit here and call them on a person's plate. People have eaten worse things. So, we're not going to get into the whole food shaming conversation, because it is what it is. When you're talking about a lot of sea people, though, yeah, lobsters are roaches too, but it doesn't matter what you call them roaches because another man's roach is another man's meal. Especially if you live off the coast and if you live on islands and if you live where that is your main food staple, that it's abundant there for a reason.
Especially if you eat tuna fish.
Black and white dairy cows to slaughter, and you're not going to have pigs to slaughter. You're going to have these things y'all keep calling roaches. You're going to sit here, I don't understand that.
Look, and Ray said, lobsters are roaches? They big sea roaches, but ain't nothing wrong with a sea roach. They meaty. And so what? People eat all kind of listen, they dipping roaches in chocolate, and in some places they going.
Oh my God. Wherever they can get it and however they can get it. Because people gotta eat. So right. Way.
Right. I ain't never ate no bug on purpose.
Oh my God.
Listen here.
You ain't never had a bug in butter sauce then. She apparently people never had her roach.
I ain't never ate a bug on purpose, but
she ain't never had her sea roach in butter sauce before.
I had no sea roaches. Sea roaches is dipped in butter.
Oh my gosh. That's all I'm saying, right? So
yes, but either way it go, y'all, because global warming is real. Right, and we are paying attention to it, and we are paying impact to it. But global warming is not just looking at all the negative impacts. It's also looking at some of our restraints and some of the things that we can do. Again, because you can never stress enough what we can do to change it. Some of the things I noticed they're trying to change with not just emissions and the gas and whatnot, but something about gas itself. I forget what the name of the word was. I'm doing some research into it. And then with the electricity and whatnot for our own resources. But again, when we talk about waste and things that we can do. Now, I know last year, especially when COVID hit, everybody wanted to start growing their own plants and vegetables and whatnot. Right? Now, that was...
I'm sorry to tell you, me and my son killed up every plant and vegetable we had up in this mug we thought we was doing something too.
Well, you got them high windows as well.
Because we do plan on having an inside garden, and that is definitely on the to-do list, right? And check that off for this year. James, part of that resolution.
Right. So that was one of the things too. So by doing those self-harvesting and on those things, but again, we also having the recycle, right? When we were talking about not having so many trees, I think that was a conversation you guys had on Corporate Conversation about not having so much paper going around no more. So everything's going to be, you guys are doing more international or digitized work and things of that nature. And so it's not going to be much paperwork.
More digital, more automation. More,
And so
more what they call digitization.
Right. So that's getting rid of waste. So these are things that's getting rid of things like Garbage Island and the landmine fields of garbage and waste and whatnot. Right. Because some of this stuff was supposed to been biodegradable by now, meaning the
I
earth
was
should
just about to say that. Yeah, how come stuff? Yeah,
the
it
earth
hasn't
should
started to
have ate it
break
back
down?
up, and it didn't. And so some of it is just still there. So we have things and like clothing and X, Y, and Z and just all kind of stuff. And so you have other countries. Now I'm not saying because I don't know about America yet, right? But they're the recycling the bottles, and the bottles are getting thinner and thinner. And now you have some countries where they water come in plastic bags, look like our Capri Suns, but they're not.
Yep, I saw that.
They're literally in plastic bags.
Yep, self-sustaining.
Yes,
Yeah,
and
because we
so
have to have self-sustaining method. Yeah.
right. And so if you think of it as in a microcosm for a macrocosm solution, then yes, then that's saying we're doing our share, we're doing our part, and not just looking at it as in, oh well, the world gonna be here forever. Da 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 da. No.
The world is going to be here forever. People are not going to be here
regardless
forever.
to that, I'm saying, listen, it's more to that. You don't want nobody coming in your yard throwing trash and paper and all this other stuff. And so if each one teach one, reach one, then yeah, we all can do our part to ensure. I wouldn't give a damn if it don't last for 2 hours. Can we make it 2 hours in 1 second? If all of us do our share, that's it. It's no more than what you would normally do or anything that you should do, supposed to do, or just righteously do. You don't do this on a natural. We need to look at some of the stuff that has happened from just thinking, right? And I didn't do this, but I could, right? For everybody that climbs, you know how I love mountain climbing movies. For everybody that has climbed these mountains up until the first thing that happened, what, in 2008? When that first storm killed some people, and then the next one was in 2018 or something like that. Yeah. Listen here, these markers, for the tears that they climb to go up these mountains, they're so horrible and junky and polluted, and it's just it's devastating.
I saw that. Now that would make a good show though, not Doo-Doo Island. Like the trash.
Well, no, it's not just saying. That's what I said. Doo-Doo Island is just a result. That's why I say I don't want you to be there. But again, some of these other things are just all results. You see what I'm saying? Because remember, in order to go to these mountains, you got to pass through several little countries and cities and whatnot to get their permission to even get to pass through their thing to go to the mountain. Right, it might take 3 months to even 2 months to even get to the mountain from where you get to Nepal or whatever station you came through. And so once you get there, you got to get camels and people and donkeys and a car only take you so far, and then you hiking it and trailing it, and then you got people, shepherds, carrying your food and refrigerators of food for y'all to be there for months, and diapers and carrying on, and you know what I'm saying. So you got all of this, and then when y'all leave. Especially the ones that don't make it back, they leave that stuff there.
I mean, and they so piss poor though. They can't even take you back down the damn mountain. Makes sense.
But that's that NDA. You know what it is when you sign up. When you climb a mountain, you know the risk ain't going up. The risk is coming down. Just like when them people went in that submersible.
It's a damn shame.
You sign that same risk because you know that once you go down, the only way they're gonna bring you back up. If anything go wrong in that submersible, the only way they're gonna bring you back up is dead. There's no way that somebody's gonna be able to bring you back up from a submersible alive. They're gonna literally have to wait for you to drown in order to come and get you. That's sad, but it's so true.
That's what happened on that submarine with the guy who was having them pay all that money for their submarine. Once it was down so far they couldn't reach it, they had to wait for it to implode in order to, get the pieces, the wreckage, and the body. Like they literally had to wait for those people to die. Yeah, in order to save the bodies. Yeah.
I literally seen an oil driller in one of the deep diving stories. It was 5 of them, and they had a oil drill pump that hadn't been used in years. And so when they went down, once they got in, it was going to vacuum all the water out, and they would have been safe to fix the pump and put their gear back on, take their gear off or whatever. Now, I don't know how many kilometers down they were, but they were down there like at least will kilometer volume, right? That's at least 40 meters or whatever. So anyway, long story short, somebody left a tool. They had to go back up and get the tool because they were all stuck. When he got the tool and he started making the twist or whatever, the vacuum sucked them all in with water. And then some of them had to climb their way so far out. But it was a 2 or 3 mile climb up the pipe in order to get to the crane so that somebody could get help. And only 2 of them made it out. And the only way that they could go get the rest of them that were stuck in there is that they had to wait for them to drown. They could hear them hollering and everything, but it wasn't nothing they could do. And when you're down in there and you're in the dark and you're in all that water and then, it's just terrible. But yeah, so yeah, this is kind of stuff.
No, it is terrible. No, it's absolutely the worst, right? So we're not gonna act like it's not. The shit is just terrible altogether.
Yeah, it is. But when we taking these trips and whatnot, you just leaving it just.
Yeah, the not taking your trash with you is so tacky. It is.
And now
it's not global etiquette. Global etiquette is if there are no baskets for waste, recycle, aluminum, plastic, and whatever else, then carry your own trash until you can get to a real trash bin and throw the shit there.
The same way you brought it up there.
All over the place like it's the thing to do, and you feel like somebody's gonna come up on that cold mountain to pick up your trash.
Yes, they leave their tents and everything.
That's crazy.
They leave the tents
and everything. But the crazy part, you know what, Sakina, for me, the crazier part for me is this, that 9 times out of 10, though, the people who climb that mountain are climbing that mountain because they consider themselves to be winners. They consider themselves to be champions, yet they are so careless and reckless in their personal life, which is all that trash that you see on that mountain. Because there's no way that a person with a mindset like that could ever look at a mountain and say, "Dear mountain, I love you so much. I'm going to climb you for a personal accomplishment, but then I'm going to leave all my trash because technically on the inside of me is a tacky person who's going through shit. I'm going through things in life and I'm just leaving my trash all over the damn place. And I just needed to prove that I was a winner."
Yes.
Wait, what? So we went back to the trash again. So winners leave trash around. Yeah, they do when they need to regroup, when they need to do better, walk in some integrity, like we're talking about. Yeah.
Yes, and you got people.
So we see that even winners need to be polished up too from time to time. Champions need to be cleaned up too, right? Otherwise, this is the kind of stuff that they'll do. They'll sit here and interrupt your whole life with a bunch of trash and garbage.
That's right. That's right.
So I'm just saying.
That's right. So I think I'm gonna start with this video quick because this one just out here, and I don't have a ordinance where I want to put it. So I'm gonna share my screen. Let me know when it's sharing. Should be that one. Yeah.
Give me a second. Just came up.
I'm sorry. Is it sharing?
You will have no contact. Deep diving is much a mental state of mind in physical activity. We visualize what we're going to do, we think about the job in hand.
All right. Do you see it on screen yet? What's this, Samuel?
We'll jump in to supply Rich and Kieran with extra air tanks and help them in any way necessary.
Gemini? Okay, let me see if I can find it.
On the command bridge, they're waiting to confirm the diver safety. They have to see both of them.
All right, I see it.
4. The world as we know it is changing. Welcome to Smokin Conversations with Sakina Ra. Climate shocks, conflict, systemic risks. A perfect storm is brewing. 2024. The hottest year on record. Extreme weather devastates conflict zones. 123 million displaced, fleeing not just war, but nature's wrath. Yemen, a glimpse into our future. Water vanishes. Food becomes gold. By 2040, 65 countries will face extreme climate hazards. The dominoes are falling. Financial markets tremble. Geopolitical tensions ignite. Cyber threats loom. Climate change, the invisible hand behind every conflict. From Sudan to Gaza, floods and heat compound human suffering. The clock is ticking. Our world hangs in the balance. Uncover the truth. Join the fight in changing our effects on climate control before the final second strikes. Be sure to stay tuned for more with Smokin Conversations with Sakina Ra. We appreciate you. 3S text on black background.
And that wasn't the one. However, let me stop sharing. Uh-oh. Okay. Yes. They are so, yes. Did you catch that one? So that's one of the shorter ones. I got two longer ones.
I caught the end of it.
Okay, good. Well, that's as long as you caught the end.
Yeah,
so that's
I got the end of it.
That's pretty much where we're going into it. So I just wanted to pull that one up. I don't know if I can pull another one up. I ain't gonna worry about pulling another one up. We've been here 2.5 hours. Let me start this presentation a little bit right fast, y'all, so we can get into it a little bit.
At least 30 minutes. Anything coming on good on Sinetta? Anybody?
Oh, I have not known or seen.
I know. James? Anything good coming up with anybody in the collective? Any good? We don't have no good debates cracking. We ain't got nothing. What is everybody? They really taking their holiday vacation off, ain't they?
All right, so here we go. So this one is the climate solutions, our peace solutions, y'all. We need peace. So I want to start off with this one. Recent.
After erupting for nearly half of the day on Christmas, the lava fountains at the summit of Kilauea have once again paused. Thus ends the second episode of the summit eruption that began in the early morning hours of December 23rd on Hawaii Island. This video recorded at the summit by photographer Bruce Omori shows the crowds gathering to see the holiday display from a safe distance within Hawaii Volcanoes National Park. This video recorded by the National Park Service shows the lava fountains that threw molten rock over 80 meters high or 260 feet into the air after sunrise. This first episode paused later that day. Then, on Christmas Eve, the eruption resumed. This video, recorded by the U.S. Geological Survey, shows the renewed activity at the summit on Tuesday. The lava fountains continued overnight and into Christmas Day, then paused at about 11 in the morning. The USGS Hawaiian Volcano Observatory says episode 2 lasted a little over 24 hours, which is about twice the duration of the first eruptive episode. The Hawaii County Civil Defense issued this radio message on the current conditions at the volcano.
This is a Civil Defense eruption update for Christmas Day. The Kilauea volcano remains in alert status watch. The current eruption at Kilauea has paused. If your holiday events include a visit to the volcano's national park to view the eruption, be aware that there may be large crowds and extended wait times due to traffic congestion and pedestrians on roadways. Please drive with caution and heed the advice of park rangers during your visit. Expect reduced speed limits along Highway 11 and changes to regular traffic patterns. Please do your part to help everyone have a safe and Merry Christmas. Thank you for listening and have a safe day. This is your Hawaii County Civil Defense Agency.
Observatory scientists say there's a high probability that this eruption will resume if the summit repressurizes over the coming days. They say they will issue another update tomorrow morning unless there are significant changes overnight.
So what makes this important is because the wars again and conflicts that have been going on since 2008, and these are the ones I'm really talking about right now, and the evolution into today, geopolitical and the military tensions have indeed had an impact on global warming and the future of our planet. Now, while the wars may not be the primary driver of global warming, because this is largely caused by the greenhouse and the gas emissions from industries and agriculture and transportation. And we already really got into the onset of, excuse me, of all of the planes that they, not planes, but all the rockets that they sent out of here astronomically. And they had a couple that went out over the holiday season. And they were actually used for what they call them, ride-alongs. They had a couple of ride-alongs with them. So yeah, for people that can afford it. So I have that link for you too, so you can check that out. But they contribute significantly to the environmental degradation, and it exacerbates the climate crisis. And then this is how. So if you look at this, so without hearing it, if you look over these last years, these are the greatest 8 wars that has been going on, and these are the areas. And so when you look at these areas, you're looking at bombing. Not just gun war, but you're looking at the bombing of it. And then anything that hits certain specific areas in bombing could cause ripple effects to what? Just the water. Not just this ground, but just also to the water in the surrounding areas. So if you looked at this from a global aspect, I'm going to put this log in the link in the chat. But if you look at it from a global flat point, and you look at all these tension points in the area, when we go to the UCSG GS site, and you can see how many little tremors. Like I said, we might see an earthquake on one side that may be a 7.5, but you might see it 12, 25 or more miles away, 1,000 miles away, and the tremors will be maybe a 0.3 or a 0.2. And so just because the bigger action was somewhere else, you still have that
they get less
reaction.
Intense.
Exactly. And you're still having that reaction. And so these are the things that we are talking about, just to be paying more attention to. This was still the same slide. So the climate changes, I didn't put no numbers here because we haven't got to that yet. So far, I think we're up to over 300 volcano eruptions. The flooding they haven't added up with the catastrophic weather, because with catastrophic weather, it also includes landslides. It also includes things when dams break and things of that nature. And the earthquakes sometimes can go with volcano eruptions, and sometimes they go on their own. Also, they can fly with some of the tsunamis or whatnot, because there are volcanoes within the ocean, and they also, when the tectonic plates shift, that also can cause that same kind of earthquake or tsunami type effect. So the ideas of bombing or other high energy human activities such as these associated with wars could trigger volcanic eruptions. And an interesting hypothesis is just that although there's few points to consider about the interaction between the bomb frequencies and the systemic activities and the volcano eruptions, they're not necessarily saying that they happen like immediately, but they can happen over time. That's that systemic wave that we're talking about. We're going to get into. So we talk about the seasons and the seasonal climate changes when volcanic eruptions, landslides, and anything that can directly or indirectly cause flooding through mechanisms like glacier melts, glaciers, and natural dam breaches, and other phenomena that often intertwine with weather disruptions and amplify the disaster scale. And we know these scales are known by seasons, by the winter, right? When you get a catastrophic storms in the winter, when this snow melts, all this water just got to go somewhere. And it doesn't always have an ocean or somewhere to reside. So where does it reside? It resides in your sewage, right? And then from the sewage, and then the sewage to the next stream. And then this is where some other dams and whatnot get into hazard or and not in control. And then you have certain water whipping over into other waters. And this is why they already have this purification system. And some states have their own, some farmers and whatnot have their own, and some people have their own, like water wells and water systems, but a lot of them don't. So then you go into your spring season, and everybody knows that spring washes away the dead of winter, and this is where some of that problem comes in, and with some of the flooding. But then you also start to have in all of the rain and all of the things that come in with that spring season. But then you also have that harvesting, because this is when they also start to get ready to start harvesting. But because of I think Gemini, that was you told me that because of some oil drilling and whatnot, they've been finding in some areas. Now, this is not a conversation we're gonna have now, but they've been finding dry patches of land and whatnot, and the land is destroyed or whatnot because of these areas, so that they were used for farming and tilting and whatnot, and or they were used for oil drilling and whatnot, but because of the non-capping, I think that's what you called it, not capping off or what have you. And so some of these, even when they dry the oil out, I found that out when they dry all the oil out, the resources from out, even though it may take years to come back, if it dries all out, then it also takes everything from that soil, the moisture from the soil. So it's like your skin just being all the way dehydrated. And I don't care if you sit in a tub of water, that's not going to hydrate your skin back, right? And this is what happened to that ground with that oil and whatnot. And so you find out it's a lot of land here that they can't do nothing with. And this is why. So then you roll over into your summer solstice, which you have the longest days of the year, but then it brings in that heat, right? And then you can get those cross of weather patterns with this cold mist from lakefront and lake heat that comes from the two oceans and whatnot. And even though it's not that type of year for those storms, right? But they are brewing up. And they are coming up or being conjured up because that season is coming with the dry heat, the dry moisture, the dry weather, the dry air, all of those things. And all you need is a cold front to come in and clash or collide from another area or whatnot. And then that's where you start to have these problems with this weather. And then, of course, when we get to fall, that's when you're having all of your hurricanes and all of that, because we just left this summer explaining how that was going to impact, and now you're in the fall. You see what I'm saying? And then we just keep going back and forth and back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. I'm sorry. So this one is Greenland's melting. Is the Greenland's melting? Now, you know that we have several volcano eruptions that's going on in Greenland, and they have landslides that can directly cause the flooding through mechanisms like glacier melts, and those are the phenomenons. But again, Greenland is not Iceland, but it's Greenland. And when we get to talking about caps, and we're not talking about the Arctic, but we are talking about some of the polar caps. And when you see things of this, you have to really think about our climate and what's going on when you see several dormant volcanoes that be active, such as this one.
For the 7th time in a year, the fiery power of this volcano in Iceland on full display. The eruption, which began Wednesday, spewing lava that has consumed and collapsed roads, creeping closer to civilization. Molten rock gushing through Grindavik, about an hour's drive from the capital city of Reykjavik. Authorities set up barriers to divert the streams of lava away from the town. Smoke billowing relentlessly in these alarming images seen on land and from the air. As the hours drag on, the lava consuming 2 miles, forcing about 50 evacuations. The escalation of the eruption catching some travelers off guard.
I know volcano must be exciting for you, but please remain seated with your seatbelt securely fastened.
Tourists at the famous Blue Lagoon were alerted by sirens for another eruption back in March, piercing through the darkness. Now 2 hotels there evacuated as the lava closed in. Crews racing to repair damage in the luxury geothermal spa's parking lot. The volcano had been dormant for 800 years until geological systems reactivated it in 2021. Experts say this eruption was expected based on the building pressure, but what they didn't expect was how quickly it came.
This eruption has very little warning in terms of seismicity. Prior to some of the others, we've seen a longer period of slight increase in background seismicity.
For some residents, the eruption left them in the dark, without electricity, and in some cases, without heat.
The electricity supply has been destroyed because the heat from the lava has simply melted or affected the lines.
For many who evacuated months ago, along with the latest wave this week, questions remain about the status of their homes.
When do we go back? Can we go back? Will we ever go back?
Based on how past eruptions have played out, scientists say this one is expected to subside in just a few days and say it's actually measuring smaller than the last eruption that took place in August.
Thanks for watching. Stay updated about breaking news and top stories on the NBC News app or follow us on social media.
For the 7th time in a year.
Okay, so I got a question.
Uh-huh.
Okay, so Greenland, though, is still primarily made out of rock and mountain, right? Mountain and rock
right.
is the great majority of Greenland that it's made from. So,
well, Iceland is not, but some of it, yeah.
Because of that, it may capture a lot of ice, right? And so
Correct.
if it melts, if the ice melts on Greenland, then that can be a problem, coupled by a volcano. Now I'm confused as they just said the water's hotel spring, which is warm water. I'm pretty sure by the time the volcano exploded, right, it's burning the hell up. And then they were cold. I don't understand how that works. Like, how does the
because
volcano
it's cold in Iceland.
explode?
I'm gonna have to do more research on it.
No,
But yeah, it's actually
I
one of
get
the
that,
quarter.
right? I get that.
Okay.
I get that. You know, how does it spill all into the water and still make the environment that cold? Because that steam that's coming out is warm. That's why there's steam. So there's hot mixed with cold. So when she said, "Oh, we're freezing," I'm like, "Wait, what?" So the volcano then underneath is safe to assume doesn't change the temperature, at least even on the ground environment, right? Underneath the environment is exactly the same, but I'm not sure how that works. Like, how can it be freezing with hot lava going into the entire ocean floor over there? Then why doesn't the thermodynamics change underneath the ground since it's that hot?
Listen,
You know, it's not heating
that's a
up
good
the
one.
temperature where they live at.
Right, because of the steam,
She
you would
said it
think
was
with
freezing.
the steam.
Just
I'm
by
trying to
it
write
being
this
that hot.
down.
Yeah,
Right, you
just
would think
because it's a
because of the
volcano
steam
itself,
itself
it
from the
seemed like it
cold
would warm
water.
up the temperature.
Right, or it would at least make it foggy or something. I mean, it do be foggy, but it don't be foggy from that. So yeah,
We'll make
I'm
it a
gonna look
little
that up.
warmer than what they're used to. Yeah, I'm getting that. Yeah, the fact that she's saying, "Hey, it's not warm over here at all. It is freaking freezing." Right? I mean, that was the way she said that. I mean, it's like, wow. So a volcano can erupt. It doesn't heat up the ground underneath, and it does not make the environment any warmer, not even by a few degrees. That is very interesting.
Yeah. And so we got a few more slides, y'all. So with the awards that have the direct impact on the environment that can turn into global warming is the carbon emissions from the military operation. We got into that. Now that also includes the tanks, the jets, the ships, and other machinery that's still significant in the carbon emissions. One of the things that you brought out, Gemini, when we was talking about ships and how they used to use coal. They don't use coal, but they still use something that still pushes out just as much of that steam as before, but it's not as bad.
Yeah.
Right. So yes, that's deep. So it still pushes out stuff, but it's not as bad as it used to be. Right. And we have just as many ships as planes. The other part was the impact from the Department of Defense
smoke
alone.
all over the place. Yeah. Agreed.
Yeah, and they're working on not just the U.S. defense, but it's just one of the largest that we're still working on the greenhouse gases globally. But prolonging wars is the major contribution for tons of the CO2 emissions and these other emissions that we play a counterpart in. And that's the microcosm of a
carbon
macrocosm.
emissions. That's deep.
Yeah. I'm sorry. And so with the destructions from the infrastructures of the bombing campaigns. Wait a minute, hold on. Is that eventually, right, you'll start seeing warfare with the energy grid fields and the factories, transportation systems. Those will be the first things that they want to hit and do damage to. And that's going to cause that CO2, CO3 in our air. You see what I'm saying? And then you have the burning of the fields and all that during that war that releases massive amount of soot and the carbon into the atmosphere as well. And now we're not just talking about the people. We're talking about airborne. When it's in the air, it's in the air. You can't go against that. It's just in the air. And then you got to wait for it to settle. You got to wait for it to separate. You got to wait for it to, and your body has its own mechanism, but it wasn't made for this type of stuff. We were not built for this type of design type of stuff. all these different chemicals and blowing up and this and that, and to be breathing them and this and that. That this was not built for us for this type of stuff. Again. So the destruction of the forests, the cities, the industrial facilities, and it all contributes to deforestation and pollution. You know, the more they start tearing down forests and whatnot to build parks, so they say, right? Or new homes and sectors or what have you, and then they end up being vacant buildings and whatnot, and they just, you know, this is the kind of stuff we look at the outcome of that, you know. So when we try to say rebuild the community, we're not talking about just going somewhere and getting this and starting all over and making something new. No, we were saying rebuild what's already here. Let's bring it back to where we know it's already here. It's already here. We can rebuild it here.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Rebuild, yeah.
Exactly. So we're rebuilding.
Build anew, yeah.
We don't have to go nowhere when we got everything is here. You know, so the modern warfare involves the use of toxic materials, and this little clip goes into what we're talking about, right? Because that depleted uranium chemicals and agents, and it contaminates water. But we got this kind of stuff going on right now. And even though we're not going to speculate and assume and all this other stuff, but if it was based on a war-based system like the game is played, then again, we're talking about admissions and the war and what it has to impact on us globally. So now you have bombs from a smaller with a bigger impact. You see what I'm saying? Which is still going to make this greater impact on us, the ones who are actually on the ground. Just because you're not in the war don't mean you're not going to feel the results from it. You see what I'm saying? And so this is all we're looking at, because who wants to live in a sky that looks this nasty?
Right.
Just to be driving planes or cars or whatever in the sky. If this the air you got to breathe in, to just be out there. Right.
Well, it's going back to this for sure. I mean, they got a lot of systems to help clean up the air, and they see now that killing trees was a mistake.
Yeah. Come on. That's global warming. It's part of climate change. So, you know, we're not saying that the wars or everything are part of it. It's not the primary, but it excavates the crisis, and it makes it challenging because it's adding to it. It's still a micro part of a macro problem, and we're part of that macro because we live here. Oh, that's the last slide. Yeah, well, that was the last slide. Yeah, and then I have more because we're gonna continue to build on it. I did a whole research on it.
That was good.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was good. Yeah, because we need to see some visuals with our climate change. And we're going to be talking about climate change. We need to know what types of climate change and what affects us, what is affecting us. So by you having some visual out there, we can see the many different ways that our climate is being affected. That is what they call effective.
Yeah.
That's an effective method. So that was pretty cool.
Yeah, so we just need to be trying to look at some of these reactions, right, and start to make them changes. You know, people are doing a lot of things, taking food to work, buying recyclable things that use for lunch boxes and all kind of recyclable this and that, and it's, you know, we're coming down to, but it's better thinking for longevity. You see what I'm saying? We shown better because we known better, you know, and so each one will reach one. And this is the stuff we have to look at, because even though it don't have to be in your yard, but how close do it have to be?
Yeah, facts.
Right.
Prevent the biosphere. You know, I stand on that.
Yes, all day.
Yeah.
So, yes. Anybody else want to come up and? Yay.
Yeah, that was good. Yeah. No, I love it when we're talking about climate and global ideologies, because that would fit the current need of where we are, right? Of where we are as a people, right? We're not up in space, even though people go there. We don't live there. So that's effective only to them, right? We live here on the planet. And so everything that's going on here, we need to know and be aware of what could possibly affect us at any given time.
Yes, honestly.
So I love when you are teaching about things that affect us right here on the planet, live at each and every single day.
Yes, I listen. I'll be stealing from y'all. I'll be stealing y'all words, and I might steal a phrase and a word and a phrase and but y'all.
I got lots of words you can steal, girl.
Yeah, I love corporate.
I should write a book about it. Words you can steal.
Here, listen. Maybe you'll be my guest because I actually have something coming up when I get back home. I'm gonna start back working on it. But we're gonna get into the frugality. That's what I'm calling it right now, the frugality of words. And I think you would be a great guest for that.
Yeah, Jim and I got lots of words, lots of vocabulary, lots of definitions.
Yeah, because I'm sick of this literal and analytical and fundamental and so if we just we're gonna go there. We're gonna have fun with it though, y'all. So I want everybody to be able. We're gonna drop the link. We want participation, yes, and we're gonna go there, right? Because it ain't what they say; it's what they don't say. Damn that.
We're gonna have Sakina's version of Jeopardy.
Right.
We'll take analytical Sakina for 300.
Analytical. You know what that means? Analytical.
LYT.
Do you want to go to sleep, or do you want to get your butt whooped and go to sleep? Analytical.
Even James said he might be a guest too. I'm telling you, James.
Come on in here, my inspiration.
Yes. Word Jeopardy. Sakina's word Jeopardy. I'm gonna make a flyer.
Yes.
You want me to make you a flyer, Sakina, that say word Jeopardy?
Yes, because I'm gonna listen here. We gonna have the I don't care what they say. At this point, I've spoken correct language. JJ live. I spoke correct language this time until they said
no. You know what that is? No, I ain't even gonna give you that. No. What that is that people your age always think they can just say whatever the hell without it making sense, without it having no nothing, don't understand what y'all just think y'all can just throw them words around like y'all like to do, like my mom like to do. She like to just make up shit, make up sentences.
You sure right about it. Listen here. The almanac did it. If the almanac can do it, I can do it too.
Oh my gosh.
Look here, the almanac, all men act like that, and they all write a chapter or a scripture or something, and they put it in that book, and every year they come out with a new one, and they try to do like that and say Farmer's Guide.
Oh my God.
They ain't talking about nothing about no fireman in there, girl. Everything in that book but fireman. That's why you can look up. Oh, why he do that? I bet you it's in the almanac, and you go up in there and go. They do all act like that. Page 57.
Oh,
all men do act like that.
That is hilarious.
Yes, it's in the almanac. Just look it up. And they get one. I'm going to get one this year so I can show y'all the almanac. All men act just like that.
I used to read those almanacs all the time. But what didn't I used to read as a kid, though? My ass picked up everything and read it. I don't care if it was the TV guide, the almanac.
That's right.
I would read all the ingredients around the house. I would pick up anything that's everything and read. Turn to the back of it and read it.
There it is. That's what I'm saying.
I used to read. Oh my gosh. When the single thing in the house, I don't think I hadn't read. And that goes for, I'm talking about the salt, the pepper, all of that shit. You had a label and I could read it. My ass was reading it. I was a reader that way. I had to. It was like it was calling me. It was calling me. Like,
see, I like messing words up sometimes too. I like messing them up on purpose. I think it's fun to mess them up on purpose.
I did not. I know I couldn't mess up words on purpose. I keep telling you, I'm the only kid in my class in kindergarten, first and second grade that can actually pronounce words, full words. And I used to make it my business to read people's names and read up on names so I can know where people were from. So if you told me your name, and especially your first and your last name, oh man, I can just about identify where your people were from. Like I did that like forever and ever and ever. But my ass was dirty. And I
And
had
I'll
books
take
in
your
my room,
name and
right?
try to figure it out
Encyclopedias, all
too.
kind of shit, but I just had to read.
I be
could not
figuring your name
read.
out on something else. Like, your name what? Like knife? Your name
But
Shark.
no, that just tells you no, because back in the day, etymology meant something, right? So, like, if I would have known, I would have had to keep all of that smart today, because things did a 360 and evolved back to a point where people have to be intelligent. And I don't like to use the word smart. Smart is prideful. Smart is a negative play on intelligence, right? So people are intelligent. But if I would have known I had to keep a lot of that, I would have done a better job, because it used to be a point in time when it came to all things grammar. I knew all about that. But look at my grammar. Look at the shit I say. My Ebonic game is strong. Ain't nobody gonna tell me that I can't use Ebonics. We created it. I can use whatever we created, period.
This is so dang good.
Ebonics is, I'm gonna pass out some dictionaries.
Oh my goodness, my niece made a homemade pound cake. It's so good.
It look like it tastes good.
You can taste the lemon and everything.
Pound cake is not gonna be on the word Jeopardy, is it?
Now if it got pound in it.
It's a damn shame.
We just gonna say
get her.
We just gonna say cake.
She had to talk about pound cake, and she just like, yeah, this pound cake is just good. This pound cake, yeah, pound.
We just gonna say cake because we can't be saying. I might go look for it and shit. We can't.
Oh my gosh!
And notice they don't have all that wonderfulness on it. That what you call frosting.
I like cake with or without frosting. I like cake.
Yeah, I don't like all that.
Who can say they like cake but only like cake with frosting?
I don't like all that birthday cake frosting and pink and yellow and sprinkles and can. I don't like all that.
That means you don't really like cake.
No, I do. I just like. I like what I eat. That's what it is. I like what I eat. I don't eat everything. That's Mikey.
I like this car.
That's Sakina.
Oh my God. He said, all right, I want to taste that cake. James. Oh my gosh. Go find a Green Bay, Michigan, where she is.
Listen, I'm not no damn Green Bay, Michigan. Green Bay. Put Michigan with Green Bay. Listen, them Lions will get mad. You calling them Bears and calling the Bears Tigers and
oh my gosh.
Yes.
James said he coming to get the cake out of me.
My inspiration. Listen.
Just make sure that is, yeah. You're gonna get your damn cake at the door. How about that? We ain't letting your ass in. But you come get that cake all you want to. Expect a beat down. Expect a beat down. There's some bullets at the door.
It's so good though, really.
Come on, bring your ass on.
Cake.
Oh man, girl, hilarious.
Oh yeah, you did that. She did that.
Because you weren't even gonna stop and like eat the cake later, and you was just gonna eat it all in front of our face, and
I can't wait.
Do one of my numbers, be smacking and making it sound
Listen,
all good.
When I was peeling them egg rolls, right? Ben Salah, thought I was eating Little Debbie cakes. He said I'm over here crinkling paper.
Yeah, look at the snacks. Who is that that said that? James John said that about the
Salaya Ben Yah said that.
Snacks.
Yeah, he said I was eating. It sounded like I'm over there tearing up some Little Debbie cakes. And he was like, "Who is that?" I was pulling the wrappers out the plastic, and he was like, "Who is that?" And I was like, "Oh, that's me." So since I already got accused of eating Little Debbie cakes on your channel, I'm gonna be right.
Oh my God!
Now everybody can tell the truth.
Hey, you know what?
I wasn't eating it there. I'm eating it here.
It's the holidays. It's the only time I'm gonna eat and drink because I can see no food, back to no food, no alcohol. Once the third come back around, ain't gonna be none of that in my future. So cheers to eating and drinking like right here, right now, living in the moment. Because tomorrow ain't promised, and I can tell you now, shit, my damn job is gonna be out of control come the third.
No, you got it.
You can forget it.
Congratulations. Congratulations. Yes. Yes.
I appreciate that. I'm not looking forward to all that damn work. So that's why I was like, you know what? I'm making it. It's my last weekend to kick it, to turn up and do whatever it is. The party's already started.
Yeah, it's something you can handle anyway.
And then Wednesday.
Come on. It's your new you. It's the new year. It's all. Come on in.
Yeah.
Come on in. About
Okay, because you know what? Every time I listen, Sakina, every time I go 6 months without drinking or anything like that, I'm gonna tell you, I'll be so looking forward to drinking that it's almost like I'm doing myself a favor.
Oh, well then you're replenishing. I didn't know you drank.
Right? I'm doing myself a whole.
I know you drink occasionally. So.
Gemini always doing her own thing,
right? Listen.
I'm like that too at work too, James. They ask me like, okay, whatever she over there doing, we don't know. Her ass would do veer off track in a heartbeat. Just do her, whatever that looks like.
Yes, honestly.
They doing me. Tomorrow I ain't promised. I cannot tell you I'm gonna be here tomorrow. I can't do that. With all the shit that's going on in the world. So all I have is today. So that's all that matters is my today. And every day I wake up, that's the only day that matters.
Today, my country 'tis of thee. Today, sweet land of liberty. Today, of thee I sing. Today, that song. They come to America.
James, breakdown cocktail. Do you mean morning cocktail, noon breakdown cocktail? What do you mean cocktail? Because this right here, when I'm drinking, is a spritzer. This is a it's called bubbly sangria. It's a blood orange pineapple spritzer. So this can be considered a cocktail, but this is just what I have here to drink. But I'm a top shelf type of lady. I need some scotch, some whiskey, some bourbon.
Ooh.
I need an old fashioned. That's exactly what I need in my life. If I had an old fashioned, boy, everything would just be right.
What the hell is an old fashioned?
I keep telling you, it has it depends on how they're making them. Like I have smoky
old
fashions too,
right.
A basic old fashioned, it has a clove, it has orange.
With a pretty, I got all that pretty stuff in it. All right.
It has the Japanese sherry.
Right.
Yeah, and it's
why they call it old fashioned?
Because I think it's a drink from way back in the day. It's an old fashioned drink. That's the way they used to make them, an old fashioned. And so I think that's why they're called old fashions, because these drinks are probably what people had on hand most. Shit, a little grenadine goes a long ways, right? A little grenadine, and also to the old fashions have a little spice. So it depends on if you're making it smoky. Sometimes it tends to be a little sweeter, or whatever you're using for the bourbon part. You can use a rye for your old fashioned, something like that. So as long as you use a good base, you should be okay. But for me, again, since I don't get a chance to drink as much as I would like to, I like all drinks. I tend to like just drinks. I just like drinks and conversation. I tend to just like just that right there.
What's a dirty martini?
Nothing more, nothing less.
What is a dirty martini?
A dirty martini has it's a different liquor in it, right? Or
I don't know. I've only had like an apple martini, right?
Yeah,
Apple martini. Yeah, I don't do too many
chocolate martinis.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Chocolate martinis are so fire. Girl, they get you.
Right. Do they make that with Kahlua?
No, they make it with some sort of chocolate liqueur.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm. And vodka. Good vodka.
Yeah, I never had. I don't do too much of that kind of. But I've never heard of a dirty martini before. Like, really? That must have brown liquor in it or something.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's something like that. Yeah. It's the vodka. Yeah, that he said. Yeah,
Rage making up stuff. He rage making up stuff. He's talking about rooster tail. Is that a drink? You got me.
You play too much. Why do you got no time for that? Why do you got no time for that?
Let me get a rooster tail and he'll be like, get up out of here.
Yeah, like what is going on? We talking about
rooster tail. Oh, you talking about the
tail feather, just all the goddamn tails. Give me some tail. I'll pay for the tail. Just what is it?
I ain't paying no attention. He said cocktail.
Favors for tail. I don't know what you got going on here. I don't know.
You out here with these shark tails. Do.
Shark tails. Oh, shucks.
Right. Okay,
y'all. This is a good time. I want to thank everybody too. Everybody that we have in the chat and people that are watching. Thank you for, spending a part of your afternoon, or evening with us, because it is 7:25, Sakina. So it's about 2 hours and 17 minutes in, and I'm going to get off this thing too and really kind of salvage some of my Saturday, if that's possible. Right, I'm going to sit here and wish I did have some other liquor, but since I'm part of this wine club, y'all, and so even though I'm not a wine drinker, I'm still a part of the wine membership because I like, again, drinks and conversation. So a winery is a good place to do that. Mm-hmm. So I didn't never go pick up all these bottles that I had for free. When I got to the place, they were like, "Oh, you have 33." So I was thinking that 33 was how much he was charging me to pick up the bottles. Okay, like, $33. Prepared to give me like $33. No, he's like, "You have 33 bottles." And I'm like, bottles of wine from? And he's like, from the membership, because each month you're paying for them. So this gets already paid for. You just need to pick them up. Holy smokes. I picked them up and I did pass them out for some gifts. And I did drink. Oh my God. I've been drinking a bottle ever since I've had this thing here, because I already know, again, if I don't drink it now, you can forget later.
Oh.
So this is just another one. And the winery is really nice. It's really big. They make all of their own wine and spritzers and champagnes and Moscatos.
Come on.
And everything. So they have some really good wine there. One of them tastes like chocolate Tootsie Rolls. It's like a bestseller there, and it's so delicious, right? Then they have a night wine. They have a dessert wine that is so fire. Like, I swear I'm saving that one for a really good dessert. It's so good. And then some of these spritzers that I've been drinking, right? I've been drinking these spritzers half to death. Pop one in the refrigerator, let it get cold, and drink it. And
it's good, hey?
Yeah.
Come on,
all the way
man.
till at least, I don't know, Sunday, at least tomorrow. So tomorrow's when I stop.
Oh.
Yeah.
Every day gotta have an ending.
Tomorrow's over. Yeah, tomorrow is it for me. It's my last day of doing doing anything fun.
Anything fun?
He said I never had a mimosa. You never had a mimosa?
Well, you ain't really missing much. It's okay though. It ain't what they say.
Yeah.
It ain't
Yeah.
really. Champagne tastes like gas. Ooh,
it depends on
I
what
get
type
such
of
a
champagne.
headache. I get such a
depends
headache
on what
behind
type.
it.
It depends on what type and how long. Yeah. Because if you're talking about the ones in the store, that's why you have a winery and not the ones in the store.
No, I'm not always talking about the ones in the store. I'm not. Listen, believe me.
That's what you be sitting here saying, Sakina. But I've never been to a winery that had nasty wine that they make.
No, I'm talking about for me, gas. My champagne experiences are not
does not
good.
all taste alike.
Some of them do those.
Like gas?
I don't even try to. I think I've had 2 experiences, and I've had bad headaches behind them. But one of them smelled so much like gas, I can't. Right, and no.
They will
Even
give you a
that
headache
Dom
because I
Perignon,
think it's the natural sugar in the grapes.
I can't.
Yeah,
It's
it will give you
I
a
just
headache.
can't.
Yeah.
Huh?
That's why I was kind of reluctant with this one here. This is why I didn't get that many bottles, but it didn't give me a headache. It is so really good. I should have gotten more.
Yeah, that would be the thing, because I would love, because we, like I said, here in Milwaukee, we do Bastille Day. We have a whole thing. So I love the wineries and the wine things like that. And I got a cousin in Chicago. Her fiance, they kind of whatever, but I don't want to get into that. But either way, I just don't. It's just something about some champagne that just, like I said, I don't have a good experience with it. I don't. And the mimosa.
But again, I don't.
Maybe it could be the mimosa because I'm not a real big orange juice drinker either. Orange juice.
Most wineries are not going to have much champagne anyways. They're going to have more wine.
It's supposed to be half and half.
If they're big, they're going to have everything pretty much across the board. But when they make it, it doesn't taste the same as the kind in the store. So I know what you mean when you sit and say it tastes like gas, because some of the ones in the store absolutely taste like that, right? That made me not want to drink wine. But then when you go to the wineries and you understand the wine, you start to learn about the wine process, you start picking out bottles of wine that work better for you. And also champagne, Moscato, and anything with that sparkling type of fizzy to it, you understand, what that is, because I used to experience the same thing. I used to be like, oh my gosh, I can't drink this. How are people drinking this? But wine is the same way too. When you learn better, you do better. So now
I know my wine. I have my certain kinds I drink, and sometimes
that don't give me a headache.
When it comes to champagne, I don't know shit about it like that. I only know my experiences, but I know wine, right? I know wine, like.
Well, wine is similar.
But I'm not no wine connoisseur either, no. But I do know wine, especially when it comes for me. I know that. I'm not a wine connoisseur. I can't tell you I'm going to swish it around the glass and see how long it takes for the rest of it to liquidate to the rest to see if the color still is around the glass. And I'm not looking for all that kind of ritual. No, I'm not doing all that. But again, I do like my taste and my subtleness and the sweetness of one versus the other. Some dessert wines are okay. Some are lots. Give me, they too bitter. They too dry. You might need a spritzer or something for them. Some to that. Some of them. California has a nice one when it comes to Merlots.
Are we talking about wineries or are we talking about wines?
We're talking about wines, but the wineries are the same thing. California has a nice winery, and they have nice wines that come out of there. Believe that or not. The wine is based on aging, but the winery itself, yeah. But California has a nice winery. Y'all have wine.
Where was this winery at, Miss?
Y'all have
Which
vineyards.
One?
Y'all have vineyards.
Mm-hmm.
You have vineyards, right? You have to find. You'll find it on your bottles. Your bottles will tell you where your wine is and where it's made from and how long.
Well, not even so much of that. The wineries will tell us ourselves. There's lots of wineries that we go to.
But that's if you know what I'm saying, because we got one in North Dakota. I don't even know if it's a wine, but they sell moonshine. You know what I'm saying? And the pretty bottles. They got the really with the picnic thing on the top of it. With the
they do. They got the moonshine. But the moonshine is not so I have never seen okay, so you're saying the winery in North Dakota, they sell moonshine or they make moonshine?
Listen, I don't know who makes what. This the cigar shop.
Moonshine is a company. You do know
they have a moonshine. No, this is a winery that make. I'm not saying they make it. They sell moonshine as well. Okay. Now you can't just walk up to the counter.
If it's moonshine, that's a company and it's all over, and they do make lots of good moonshine. Very pretty. They even make fruit.
No, not the moonshine with the blue can with the yellow moon on it. With that, not that. I'm talking about a glass jar.
Yeah.
With the little picnic label light.
Yeah. They make a bunch of flavors, and I'm talking about flavors on top of flavors on top of flavors. Yeah,
they're like $7 or $8 a bottle, and cream. They're not no bigger than a 4-ounce cup, maybe a 3-ounce cup, right? Yeah. You know those little bitty mason jars, the little ones.
That's what they're made of. That's a Costco company. That's why I'm surprised that the winery would even sell that brand, because that's a
you'd be surprised what these people
but everybody sells it because it's nice packaging. It is nice packaging.
Yeah, they sell it just like they got flavors. I didn't know my moonshine come like they come in flavors and all kinds.
They got flavors on top of flavors on top of flavors.
Yeah, and it's like what? Yeah, and they tell you have to be careful because you know some moonshine has kerosene.
If you drink the wrong ones, though, it will make your stomach hurt. I drink that moonshine, but it will make your stomach hurt if it's too sweet and all of that because it's moonshine. So if you get it too fruity or it will make your stomach hurt, and I mean all night. Because it's some strong stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, I bought wine.
But I don't think for me, I don't think it's no stronger than Everclear. Not even stronger than that BS that they sell you every place else.
Everclear is water,
and all that. Come get your $7 drink with all that Everclear in it. Oh my God.
Oh, okay.
It's horrific.
You're talking about that. Okay. Yeah. I was thinking Everclear was water. I'm like, Everclear is water. Then I thought about it. No, it's not. It's not. Okay,
no,
I remember what you told me. Right.
It's 100 proof, right? But it's like, who's drinking Everclear? That junk is disgusting, and it will get you toe up. Oh my gosh! Okay, granted, we were at one of these little festivals or whatever. Everybody was dressed up and toe up. That's different because that was the goal. But for the most part, some of this liquor, the harder liquors, you're going to stay away from, because that's not the goal to go in someplace and get toe up in the middle of the day. The goal is to relax or unwind, but never just to get so toe up from
the flow up
or moonshine that you just because you can be
I
out
think
there with that. You
moonshine
can't
was
put
that
most
way
out there.
back in the Beverly Hillbilly days. Moonshine.
Well,
Yeah,
no,
I think
moonshine is go further than that, right? Now we talking about the prohibition, right? We
yeah,
talking about we talking about liquor.
hillbilly type.
Moonshine was that liquor, was that tub liquor.
Yeah. Yes. You know, you had the
I bet you
moonshine.
people was happy and toe up back in the day.
Listen, because liquor wasn't legal when they was doing moonshine too. Remember, liquor wasn't legal. Gambling was barely legal, but
Being
that's
toe up
gambling.
wasn't that. That's because you know what, that moonshine would make people mean and go home and beat up their spouses. So they had to do something about it because you had, and then at that point in time, you had more white men who were women abusers than anybody else. You know, they had this alcohol and this liquor 24/7. So it was making the men literally so mean back in the day that they really had to do something about liquor and the way it was distilled. They had to do something about that because it was outrageous and women were losing their lives left and right from mean men from drinking.
Man, Beauty and
Some of
the
that stuff will make you
Beast.
mean. Mean as a rat snake. Is that what they say? Rat snake.
I want to see the beast.
And you know what? And technically, though, liquor is the same way. This is why, my cousin came over over the weekend, right? And she says, for the holiday weekend, and she says, you got all this wine and all this champagne, and you got all this Moscato, now you can sit here and get a boy some. I looked at her and said, ooh, 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 girl, I don't drink with my kids. And then she's like, how old are they? Because, cousin Gina. I said, it don't matter. I don't give a damn if they was 58 or 68. I don't drink for my kids, boo. This is where that comes in at, when whatever type of responsibility we have at home, you have to only know that alcohol can make some people enraged. And we have to make sure we're aware of that. And you cannot be the adult that caused the fight in your family when you know you shouldn't have been giving that person no type of liquor and you did anyways.
That part.
So we ain't gonna go there on personal responsibility.
Right. Opening the double.
You know what I mean? And I definitely have a double standard when it comes to the kids. Do as I tell y'all I have to do. Don't do as I do. Fuck all that. Do what I tell you to do. Otherwise, it's gonna be a problem.
Listen, sometimes be like, how I feel to be
It's
me.
your only option. You don't get no option A and option B.
Listen, I know that's right.
So no, I can't do it. I can't drink with my kids. I don't care if they are legal age, 21 and 22. To me, that's still not old enough for me to fully kick it with you, and I'm not going to. That's a little bit weird. And then the ones in their 30s, the one daughter doesn't drink at all, and then the other one may have something. Especially if they're not an experienced drinker. That's a no bueno. As a matter of fact, if you're not experienced, I'm getting far away from you as possible because I don't like newbies and beginning people. Let somebody else get you in a bunch of trouble. I don't want to see you, smell you, nothing when it comes to grown-up stuff. When grown-ups are playing, we're going to need y'all ass to go find something to do. And that includes you, Mr. and Mrs. 22.
Right, acting like you're 25.
I can't do it. Ain't gonna do it. And you ain't gonna make me drink with your kids because I ain't gonna drink with mine, and I will walk away if I see some kids involved. I even got into a whole fight last year with a cousin of mine because I kept saying the same thing over and over. Like, no, it's the New Year's, and I'm trying to turn up, and you got your kid with you. Well, we can still drink. No, we can't. No, we can't.
Oh.
No, we can't. No, and don't you light up a damn thing with her in the car either. So you're not sitting here and drink and smoke with children around. Who does that? I can't do that. And she thought I was being funny style, and yeah, she talked a whole bunch of mess, but whatever.
Listen, some people you just gotta respect their rules and keep it moving. It shouldn't be that serious for her to just.
She was. I mean, she made a huge deal out of it, and I kept saying, and anybody that knows me, like, no, get rid of all y'all kids first, so I can kick it the way I'm trying to kick it. What kind of? Because I could be their favorite cousin, and then they see me sitting here drinking and smoking or whatever, and oh my gosh, I did not know she did that. Oh, we can do it too. No, you can't. I'm never getting ready to be your reason. But nothing. Yeah. No, that's not how that works. So get your kids. I don't care what you do with them, because I'm an empty nester. That's you and your problem, you and your kids, and I'm gonna go find me some adult people, some grown-up people, free from kids, and I'm gonna go kick it.
Let's say kid friendly. No, I don't want kid friendly.
I'm not kid friendly at all. Hell no. That's like I'm the best though. It's straight. I am the best. I am the best. But when it comes to kicking it, nah, I'm the worst. You got to take all them babies and kids home. You got to take everybody under 25 home. Fuck all of that. And I mean it. I'm not toasting. I'm not doing none of that with these kids. No. Sure not.
Right, I understand. I have to make sure I put this down here for my question. Right, I'm gonna look that up. We gotta look that up. Yes.
What question did you have?
This was so amazing.
All right, well, Sakina, again, it's just to be 8:00. I'm ditching you at 8:00, boo. So we got about 15 more minutes.
Well, yeah, we got about 10 more minutes because I'm gonna close out. But listen, again, we're gonna pick up from where we left off at. Right, because I'll be leaving Friday. I'll be home Saturday. So yeah, I'll be home in time for y'all show. And in time for my own. Yay. Let me see if I can get these pictures though.
Because you've been gone a long time. You've been gone for what? 2 weeks?
Yeah, it'll be 2 weeks.
Week and a half? Yeah.
It'll be 2 weeks. I left on the 15th. And so I've been here a week. Yeah, I've been here a week for sure.
Yeah, you've been there for a week.
I've been here a week for sure.
You tell your brother and them, hey, good to see y'all, and all of that good stuff, all of that and all of that. When it's time to go.
Yes, listen. It's going to be a mess.
I think a week with family is all you need. 2 weeks max, though. Longer than 2 weeks, you have lost your mind.
Yes,
you have lost all of your damn mind. There's no way I'm going to sit here and spend longer than 2 weeks with my mom and my stepdad and my sisters. That's a hell no.
When you ain't seen them in a minute, because I was here in June. Well, I came for my birthday and I left in June. But remember, I went to Chicago too. And so, right. And now this round, my baby girl is working on a house in Tennessee, but she also worked here. So I saw her once since I've been here. Now, I'm not sure, did she leave and go back yet or not? I got to find that out. I tell you, I slept the other day. I was in so much pain. But, yeah, and the weather here is so different. It's nice, and it was kind of cold, but not really. Especially compared to North Dakota. I'm more used to this weather, but I done got so old, I'm not used to cold at all. Anything with them last 3 letters on it, I'm with it. I'm bold, I'm old, I'm cold. I can't be told, you won't be sold. I'm something to hold. Rub against me, I'll turn gold. Let me quit playing, but seriously, I can't. This is that other kind of cold, right? Because they got that lakefront. So anything that come off that Lake Michigan that they share with Chicago, it's that lakefront air ain't no joke. You know, and then they still surrounded by 2 of them 5 lakes in Michigan. Don't let them tell you no twist. Don't let them twist that story. Them Great Lakes are still surrounded in Wisconsin, because Wisconsin and Michigan has this back and forth about the glove. Well, when Michigan looked like the mitten, and Wisconsin may look like a beat up mitten with a deformed mitten, but either way, they're trying to say which one looked more like the mitten or the glove. But Michigan always looked like the mitten, and Wisconsin kind of looked like a glove like this.
I told you, you're going to have to sit here and make sure that you do a show on it, because I think it's interesting.
Yeah, I think, because, we like to know where we live. We don't just be living places. We like to know where we living.
Yeah, we like to know where
right,
we live.
You know what I'm saying? Tank full of gas, pocket full of money, get them kids up and go for a field trip. Just take a ride. You never know what's out there. You know what I'm saying? You'll find all kinds of stuff. They got a Saratoga park in North Dakota. That's the only thing Saratoga about it is when you get to the middle of the park somewhere and you get to see all these flowers. Other than that, I guess just because the whole park is big and you can walk around it, I guess that's the Saratoga of it. Otherwise, I don't know why it's a Japanese garden, because I ain't seen nothing Japanese other than that big rock that say Saratoga. I've seen an arch that say Saratoga, and I've seen a nice flower garden in the middle of it somewhere. But other than that, maybe a couple of pines. But as far as Saratoga, right? Shit, I can get that at home. Yeah, so I'm just saying, but it's still a nice park altogether. You see?
Yeah.
It's still a nice park altogether, but as far as being Saratoga, I don't know about that part.
I'm gonna tell her enjoy. She went to, because you have me missing the Kwanzaa events. Oh my God, I'm missing all the Kwanzaa events today.
Okay, well, let you go ahead and happy Kwanzaa.
It's too late now. I'm not gonna get there. Yeah, my cousin is there. That's what she's telling me now, rubbing it all in my face, like I'm at the Kwanzaa event. Whatever, girl.
So what do they do?
Kwanzaa event. I'm mad about that. Yeah, my mentor helps put that together every single year. So, it's really nice. It's at a big, what we call the gym theater. It's really big. And, this is just a Kwanzaa kickoff, though, because there'll be lots of Kwanzaa stuff from today on.
Wow.
And I know how Black people feel about Black people stuff, but it is something to network and, get out there and meet other Black people. When you're supposed to. So Kwanzaa is good. Kwanzaa is good. It keeps people on track. Keeps people with a healthy mindset with goals in mind for not just themselves, but with their families too. So some of this outrageous stuff, I don't mind so much, but other stuff, it is what it is. I take it as it comes.
Well, it's still for the season. 'Tis the season.
Yeah, it's good for the season. Absolutely. Good for the season. So,
that's right. You do it your way, we gonna do it ours, but we sure gonna do it. Right?
I'm usually never gonna pass up an opportunity to socialize anyway. Socialization is good, because again, Sakina, where I work at, it may be forever before I can come up for air to breathe again. I'm just preparing for the moment.
That's all you can do. Listen here. That's all you can do. And the motto is what? If you stay ready,
you ain't got to get ready. My pastor be saying that, girl. My pastor DJ Quick. Oh, I love him so much.
Right. That's why when I said when y'all had
You
that
telling
what
the
would
truth.
Jesus do,
If you stay ready,
get
you ain't
away
got
from
to get
them.
ready.
Right. If they wonder what would Jesus do, then get away from them because they don't have a clue.
Give me that
You
DJ
supposed to
Quick
bring them to
album 2,
action.
verse 3 and 9.
Right. Right. Give me that Isaiah
Give me that
4 and
give me
11.
that
Yeah, because ain't nowhere in the world you're supposed to be sitting up and going, oh, it's a house fire. What would Jesus do if you don't grab a bucket and what? Listen here, I'm gonna need to stay away from you. Right.
Yeah, seriously though.
All you doing is trying to remember verses. You don't know nothing about that book you read. You just, what would Jesus do? Tell everybody get away from her. Because you're gonna let the people burn. Get away from her. She's gonna let everybody burn. She don't have a clue. She
man.
just had to be here. You looking at everything
Well,
going,
Sakina
woo.
Bina, that's coming on that time, boo. I'm getting ready to sit here and be out.
All right.
And everybody to enjoy the holidays. Yes.
Yeah, stay safe.
Everyone. Yeah, spend lots of time with your family. I'm standing 10 toes down for family. Family is where it's at. Family sometimes is a lot better than friends. You think about, you put up with a bunch of crazy stuff from your friends. You might as well put up with that same crazy from family too. And family is not what we want it to be. Family is exactly who they are and what they need to be. So make sure you spend lots of time with your family. Call somebody up you haven't called in a long time. Just say, hey, check in. That kind of stuff right there. Yeah, and enjoy the rest of your holiday going into the New Year's. 2025. Whatever resolutions, hopefully you guys can keep most of it going. It is rough. It is quite the challenge to keep up resolutions, but I think it's doable. If you set more doable resolutions, then you can get a lot more done that way.
There it is, right.
Break the elephant down to teeny tiny bites.
Ooh. I'll stick with the peanuts. And with that, I'm gonna say thank y'all again for showing up and showing out for us like you always do, and we appreciate you. Y'all have a safe holiday. Enjoy the rest of your season, and just stay safe because New Year's everybody turns up. So I want you to turn up for what, but stay safe while you're doing it. Shem and Hotep, everybody.
Peace, peace.
She got style, grace. She got attitude. Feel it much in her touch.